Do not worry.
Bang. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. I'm your host, Anthony, mogging at you live from the heart of Lebanon in the 09. I'm sorry about the mogging jokes. We're just going to play, everybody asking what's up with my face in the thumbnail. We're going to play the live mogging game. Remember the 6-7 game that we played? Well, there's a very similar game where you mog with other people, mostly 12-year-olds. Online, folks. All right, I'm going to do the streamer thing and mog at the end of the stream. All right, that is a natural picture, by the way. It has not been doctored in any way, shape, or form. I'm offended that anyone would even question whether that is actually my jawline. Hi everyone, how's it going? Nice to see you all in the chat. How's everyone doing? How's everybody doing? We got Just Polito, Scouty Paws, Anthony Bencevengo, sorry, Zafira, Mo, Haley D, Hidden Iron, Zaytoon Zero, Noxalato, Pokeray Joy, Serahoidat, Eleanor Rigby, Claudia Spooky Boy. Haley was just with us at the on Tino's Playroom. By the way, I'm checking. I had some live chat issues earlier here, so let's see if this works in a couple of minutes. Hopefully, you should start seeing some chats soon. I would assume. Let's see. I messed it up earlier, folks. I done messed it up, didn't I? I sure did. You guys doing all right? We were hanging out earlier on Tino's Playroom, had a nice little fun live stream, reacted to the world's most insane Lego collection and the world's biggest Lego hoarder yesterday also. Built this beautiful thing live on stream, folks. Look at this. I've been holding this the whole day. Any chance I get, I just grab onto this thing and I swoosh it around the desk. It's honestly so fun. This might be the big sets are great to look at and stuff, but this is just a set that you just grab with one hand comfortably. It's solid. It's built like a little brick. I love this thing. You can open the little thing. You got a little Batman in there. You know, stickers notwithstanding, this thing, what a brilliant building experience this was. This was so fucking fun. I love it so much. You guys want to watch the live? Holy, Haley D just gifts 5 Do Not Worry memberships, folks. Holy hell. Also, what's up with my members up there? We gotta fix that 1 second. 393. Thank you so much, Haley. We're at 398 members right now out of 1,000. Thank you so much, guys. W's in the chat for Haley. The show's barely started. We've barely begun. The goal, folks. We have a goal. We were trying to hit 1,000 members by September 26th, which is my birthday. Can we get to 1,000 Do Not Warriors by September 26th, which is my birthday? Thank you so much, Haley. That is so kind, so generous. Haley was also gifting memberships on Tino's Playroom, the other channel, which, I mean, hey, just quick personal plug, guys. Am I allowed? Subscribe to Tino's Playroom. This is yesterday's live stream building the Tumblr. We had some good fun yesterday. Building that Tumblr. I have so many windows open. God, this PC is a beast compared to my MacBook. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. All right, what's happening here? I don't have that much stuff open. Look at that. Building some Lego, having some fun with everybody live. This thing that you're looking at, folks, eventually became this. Guys, I really recommend. I cannot recommend buying this Tumblr enough, by the way. Genuinely. I don't get paid for telling you this. I'm genuinely telling you. Even if you have a kid, they're gonna love it. I'm an adult. This is the first Lego set that I've actually been playing with since I got. I'm not gonna I love this thing so much. God, I can't. I wish I could film a movie with it. So you can watch me build this. I'm gonna film a quick review for it as well. Sometime that will come out sometime next week. Also today we just did a live stream reacting to the world's most disgusting Lego collection. Was super fun. Experiment with this kind of. Check this out. Look at this. Look how busy this is. Look how crowded this is. If you guys are interested, folks, make sure to subscribe to Tino's Playroom. The link is pinned at the bottom of the live chat.
If you're looking for a specific...
Look at this.
For the generic... Which is
you could totally...
Which I had to mount to my wall. Then it kind of continues over
drawers
here.
Full of this stuff. He's lost track. Cancel your membership. Look at this. Look how nasty this is. Isn't this crazy? Isn't this crazy? Look. Insanity, folks. We reacted to the whole thing.
Idea sets the exosuit, kind
It
of
was a lot of
back
fun.
to Lego classic space
The
there.
guy's psychotic. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Tino's Playroom. Become Tino's friend. You can become a member as well. Members, this was supposed to be an exclusive member stream, us reacting to that guy, but I decided to make it open for everyone since the channel rebrand is brand new and I'm trying to experiment with different content. Look into it. Subscribe. Support the channel on Tino's Playroom. We love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe. Start by subscribing. Let's get to 2,000 subbies. That'll be amazing. Folks, speaking of gifted memberships that Haley so generously blessed us with, if you guys want to become a member and help us get to 1,000 Do Not Warriors, feel free to become a member. Members get exclusive live streams every single week. We love and appreciate our members. They keep the lights on. They keep the crew paid. We thank you guys so much. Let me take a second to thank some of our lovely members. Members such as WinnieCat6453, Direful Pot, Jana KHM22, Big Ola Mayo, Hey, it's Sherry175, Ribat Sarwar 178, Gemma Bears, Lego Goku 7425. Let's go. We got a Lego fan right here. Gamsas 6737, Freya's Twistworthy, Jubal Void. Also, we got Creepy Banana, Travis Mills, N8Z Excess Valor, Edna's Magic Craft Shop, and Eddie Eduardo. Thank you guys so much for being members. Whether you've been gifted a membership, whether you've been a member for 4 months, whether you've been a member for 1 day, whether you've never paid for a membership, whether you're out there gifting tons of memberships, we love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and allowing us to do this full time and to be here for you for your entertainment needs. I'm looking at the is the live chat too stuck to my face? Give me space, camera. Does this help? Is it better or worse? Yeah, it's a little better. It's a little better. Yeah. All right. Members, we love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, our beloved patrons, folks, God-tier patrons like Eliad Mujabber, superhero patrons like Bibi, Bonnie Buns, Joey Daboul, blonde patrons like Unidentified Florida Man, Bomb Venusaur, Riz, Loria Zabaleta. You get exclusive content as well as re-uploads of the members' live streams. And Nour and Karine, our work, Nour promised me in 2 weeks you will get a new episode of Fantasy Board Review. They have picked their new book. Let me see. Do you guys want to see the picture of the new book that Nour and Karine are going to be reading for Fantasy Board Review? Here it is, folks. I'm not even shitting you. Actually, wait, let me just save this to download this to my desktop. This is so embarrassing for me to be involved with this. But here you go, folks. This is what Nour and Karine are currently reading for Fantasy Board Review Episode 2. It's called Morning Glory Milking Farm. USA Today best-selling author C.M. Nacosta, A Monster Bait Romance. Once again, this is what Nour and Karine are reading for Episode 2 of Fantasy Board Review, which is an exclusive Patreon show. And the episode covering this book will be coming out in 2 weeks. It is called Milking Farm Morning Glory. Look at that. They're carrying a thing of milk. There's milk coming out. We got a buff bull / centaur. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. We got the lady. You're gonna be it's monster bait. You get it? It's a monster bait romance. Morning Glory Milking Farm. And you know I'm gonna have to get my hands on this book once they're done reading it and do my own reading here for y'all and make you regret you ever wanted content like this in the first place. But anyways, this is exclusive for Patreon. Maybe the members will get a 5-minute taste, you know. But yeah. Support us on Patreon. This is what we have to do to keep the lights on, folks. We have to debase ourselves. Thank you to our patrons. We love you. Also, abductee patrons like DG, Joseph Ramirez, Jim D. Dukers, Burt Reynolds. And speaking of Jim D. Dukers, folks, I don't know if he's in the chat right now, and I don't want to put him on the spot. We're going to do a whole special live stream for that. But you might have heard me mentioning for many months now that Jim sent us a bunch of his poetry books in the mail, and they got stuck in customs, basically. And I kept calling the post office. They're like, hey, yeah, just wait. There's like a delay for all packages. It might take you 3 weeks or 2 months, but you'll get it eventually. I waited the 2 months, and I called them. They're like, hey, we don't know. They might be stuck at the airport. We don't know. Then the war hit. Couldn't go to the airport. 5 to 6 months passed since Jim sent us those books. I finally, folks, hopped in a cab yesterday, went all the way to the airport. We got the books, folks. We got Jim D. Duker's poetry books right here. I have an extra copy right here as well. And there's an extra book in here. We got the books, folks. We got Jim's book, and we're going to do a special live stream where we're going to read. It's probably going to be a members live stream, I was thinking, where we're going to read excerpts of Jim's book. I'm going to read them to you. I'm going to serenade you guys with Jim's poetry on a very special live stream celebrating Jim, celebrating his work, his poetry, and celebrating our members and all of you guys. So I can't wait for that live stream. And if you guys want to, you know, follow along with your very own copy of the book. Now, let's wait for Jim to tell us what is the best place for you guys to buy these books. Maybe he gets a better commission off of another website, etc. So we'll wait for Jim to tell us that on Discord or something. But I just did a quick little Googling. If y'all want to pick up Jim's Symphony in B-flat Major by Jim D. Dukers for $13, you can find it at Barnes & Noble. If you guys want to do a read-along, you know what I'm saying? Read it with us. We'll all pick up our copy. So get ready with your copy. You can pick it up from Barnes & Noble. Symphony in B-flat Major by Jim D. Dukers. Walmart also carries the book, apparently. Look at that. Walmart has it. But again, I don't know where. Haley D sends a $2 super chat. Says, semen is another kind of milk. Haley, I love how she had to write it so that she doesn't get flagged by YouTube. Oh, Haley. Drax says, Anthony, you need to read it in the Hila voice, but make it about the Goon Platoon. Oh my god. You crazy. So you can also get it at Walmart, Symphony in B-flat Major. We can provide you with all. I mean, I'm going to slam you the Barnes & Noble link in the live chat right now. Bang. Barnes & Noble. There we go. Walmart. I found it on Amazon Canada for some reason. For 32 Canadian dollars. I don't know why it's bringing me to this one. Some says you should consider using Ko-fi instead of Patreon. Patreon takes like an 8% cut, while Ko-fi is much less. You want to know how much YouTube takes? 8%? It's a walk in the park. Let them take that 8%. The thing is, I already have a big community of patrons. It will be hard to transition them, and then adding Ko-fi on top, or coffee, will be kind of annoying. But yeah, YouTube takes 30%, just so you know. Whoops! You can find it on Amazon. Try checking your Amazons for Jim D. Dukers' Symphony in B-flat Major. Poems by Jim D. Dukers. Okay, he also sent us... This was a special... This is not for me, folks. Okay, this is a special gift for Nour for facilitating this whole delivery. Even though, Nour, I mean, I should have... If I known you facilitated this, Nour, I would have sent you to the airport. We got this, folks. You can also get this. Before we hand it off to Nour, I might read some excerpts off this on stream with you guys. You can also get this book. This is Mockingbirds Contemplating Semicolons. I love these names, by the way. So poetic. Jim is such a tasteful man, folks. I can't wait to dig into these, honestly. Why is the Target website not crack-a-lacking? Come on. Okay, I tried to get the Target link. It's saying, sorry, the wait is longer than expected. Yes, it is, but you can find it at Strand Books. I've been to Strand Books when I used to live in New York. I had a Strand Books t-shirt, which... I lost. At this point, I still have some Strand Books, what do you call them? God damn it. Bookmarks. I have some Strand Books bookmarks. I fucking love Strand Books. The fact that they're carrying Jim D. Dukers books, let's fucking go. Also, Walmart also has it. So this one's a little bit more expensive. This is this should be $100. No price is too high for a Jim D. Dukers original poetry book. We got so many copies of these. There's one for every member of the crew. Also, one of these is for Marina. You hear that, Marina? You're getting a book. Samsung just gifted one Do Not Worry membership. Let's go. Samsung, thank you so much. That's so kind. So, folks, if you guys want to read along with these poetry books, pick up your copy at Barnes & Noble. Particularly, this is the one we're going to be focusing on. Pick up your copy. Show Jim some love. Poems, Symphony in B-flat Major. Thank you so much to Jim for this lovely gift. Samsung, thank you. Irene says, so impressive. I'll definitely be purchasing one. Let's go. Folks, anyone who sells anything here, anyone who has a business or product, let me know. We are all in this together. We are all going to be supporting each other. So whatever Whoever makes something, let us all buy it from each other. Also, Jim has a YouTube channel. If some of you guys didn't know, bam, here you go. You can subscribe to Jim and check him out as he reads he does some poetry readings on there too. I checked this out here. Look at this. I hope this isn't copyrighted music, Jim.
Friday morning measures time in lots and blocks. Aluminum rung, tin pan siren, dumb struck hollering, and whale song.
One sec. What am I doing here? Disrespecting Jim.
Friday morning measures time in lots and blocks. Aluminum rung, tin pan siren, dumb struck hollering, and whale song. Scraping street on corner dumpster. Leaves one wedged between metallic hollow aftertaste and plastic thud.
Bro, Jim is so punk rock, dude. Jim is so fucking punk rock. With the music and the piercing and the beard and the hair and the green lighting in the back, like holy shit. This is so fucking rock and roll, man. I don't know how else to describe this.
Heartbeat. Incensed. Awake above the carnival of shook alarm clock auto non-erotic rumbling.
Okay, so we're gonna have a whole live stream like that, but I'm gonna be doing that. Instead of Jim doing that, I'm gonna be doing that. Yeah, and the angle's fucking badass too, I know. Alright, folks. We're gonna be moving on. Thank you. And by the way, of course, it goes without saying, you do not have to be a member. You do not have to be a patron. You do not have to send in super chats. You don't have to give memberships to support the channel. Like the stream if you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, like the video. Hop into the live chat. If you're watching live, you have to subscribe to the channel to be in the live chat. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment. Engage with the channel. Watch some of our clips. Subscribe to Tino's Playroom as well. Do all of those things, and we will love you forever. Moving on to our show officially, folks. There is a new coronavirus on its way, or is there? Let me just put away Jim's books safely. There we go, folks. Is there a new coronavirus on its way? I was scrolling Twitter, and my heart dropped a little bit when I saw this. Just fix myself up here real quick. Breaking: flight attendant hospitalized with mild symptoms in the Netherlands had contact with woman who died of HantaVirus in Johannesburg. RTL. I'm like, what the fuck? What is the HantaVirus? What's contact with a woman, Johannesburg? What's going on here? What's the HantaVirus? I tried to fart Twain with a super chat. Breaking news. Did you see that H3 fired their employee Morgan because her position was redundant? My question is, how are there 3 researchers' positions not redundant? Damn. Okay, well, let's talk about that for a second. Fartwain had to hop in here with the breaking news. Way more exciting than this HantaVirus. Let's not. Okay, so wait. But wasn't she a recent hire? So, as far as I know, maybe she's been behind the camera for a while. But she's been on cam for just a few months, as far as I know. So, if she was a recent hire and she's been a recent fire, that means the financial situation at H3 is not going great. As we've talked about, obviously, their views are down more than 50%. So how could they still afford to have a massive crew? Something's got to give. Just look at what happened at the Daily Wire. When your views on YouTube go down, your money's going to go down. Your monetization is going to go down, of course. And H3 is a massive operation. So if that's what happened, then sure. You know what I'm saying? That could be what happened, I guess, you know? And yeah, they have a lot of redundancy, but they could afford it. That was the thing about the H3 podcast. They have a lot of repetition. Like, it wasn't AB kind of doing the same thing as Olivia, kind of the same thing as, I mean, no, AB and Olivia were the researchers, right? Ian was the switcher and like producer. Dan's the producer. Zach was the sound guy. Maybe now they have AB and Tamara doing research, and they don't need, and they didn't need Love. They have Love as well. Yeah, it was kind of overkill. AB, Tamara, Love, and more. Like, it is too much, I guess. Like, I'm not celebrating anyone getting fired, but imagine getting fired from H3. That fucking sucks. At least quit and have some dignity, right? At least walk away. Did you see H3 fire their employee Morgan because of her position was redundant? I mean, they're all redundant. H3 can never fire AB. They can't fire. And Tamara seems to be way more like active, and she's more engaging on, not engaging, but like, you know, she talks with Ethan more. I just don't know. So maybe they're like, she's more of a core part of the show now. But I don't know. I have no attachment to these new people. Like, I don't watch the show since then. But thank you for the breaking news. That's crazy. We might talk about that another time. I'll try to remember. Where did you hear that, though? I'm just curious where this is making the rounds. Let me just add this. All right. Okay. Okay, folks. Cardi B voice. HantaVirus. The HantaVirus. Breaking. Flight attendant hospitalized with mild symptoms in the Netherlands had contact with a woman who died of HantaVirus in Johannesburg. So this made me go like, what the fuck is the HantaVirus? Are we going for something new? Did a quick search and let us see. Here's a CNN report. What is the HantaVirus? Doctor reacts to cruise outbreak. Great. Everybody loves a cruise outbreak.
3 people are dead, and at least 3
Shit, 3 people? This is all news to me, folks. I did not know 3 people were dead already.
others are.
Cruise ship of death. God, remember that there's this documentary series on Netflix where they talked about this poop cruise ship where people started shitting. What would happen? Well, like the plumbing on a cruise ship stopped working and everybody started shitting and there was like overflowing shit and piss.
Are sick after a suspected outbreak of what's called HantaVirus aboard a cruise ship. Now, the vessel is currently anchored off the coast of Africa with nearly 150 people on board while health officials try to figure out next steps. Here's CNN's Larry Madowo.
Far Twain said they announced it at the end of the last episode, said it was because her position became redundant.
A suspected outbreak of HantaVirus on board this cruise ship crossing the Atlantic Ocean. The MV Hondius, operated by Oceanwide Expeditions, departed Ushuaia on the southern tip of Argentina over a month ago. Details of the suspected outbreak emerged as it was anchored in Praia, the capital Cape Verde, an island nation off the coast of West Africa, on Sunday. One American travel blogger on board issuing this tearful message.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home.
All these things about cruise ships make me never want to get on a fucking cruise. This, the coronavirus outbreak on a cruise ship, the poop and piss cruise, like, and then no one takes you seriously. When things happen to you and you're a victim, no one cares because you're on a cruise ship. They laugh at you. They point and laugh. Look at the poop cruise people. It's the same as the people that went to the fire festival. No one's going to feel bad for victims at a festival, even though cruises, like, I mean, regular middle class people go on cruises. In fact, they overpay to go on cruises. It's kind of sad, like, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. This guy's all sad now.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home.
Cape Verdean authorities have refused to allow...
Wait, I don't want to keep interrupting this, but Haley says they pre-recorded the firing announcement? What? What the fuck? Also, you gotta remember, they have the after show now, so they're having to pay girl with the microphone, and they're having to pay Harley now. So yeah, someone from the crew had to go. It makes sense. So they had to fire the person that the least amount of people would notice has left, and the least amount of people would complain. So had to happen. Yeah, they're hiring for a podcast that's losing half of its viewership. They're still hiring way too many people. Way too many people still work there, given the amount of views that they get. Also, Claudia in chat says the Dutch couple that died from the HantaVirus lived in a town 20 minutes away from me. Holy shit, Claudia, don't breathe. Mask up.
Anyone to disembark. However, local health authorities visited the ship and assessed 2 symptomatic crew members requiring urgent medical care, Oceanwide Expedition said in a statement. There are 17 Americans among the 149 people on board, according to Oceanwide. The company told CNN it is, quote, currently focused on the health and safety of passengers and crew. Humans most commonly get infected with hantavirus through contact with rodents like mice or rats, especially their urine, droppings, and saliva, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Early symptoms include fatigue,
Urine droppings and so rat feces and rat piss.
fever and muscle aches, as well as headaches, dizziness, chills, and abdominal problems. Human-to-human transmission is rare, the World Health Organization says.
To have this many people clustered together on a ship, most public health officials would be looking for human-to-human transmission, and I'm sure this is going to be investigated tremendously, but that would be where the arrows are pointing right now.
So far, it's not clear how the suspected infections on the ship occurred. The first death on board this ship happened April 11. The body of a 70-year-old Dutch man was taken to the island of St. Helena, a remote island in the South Atlantic, according to South Africa's Department of Health. His wife later collapsed at an airport while trying to fly home and died in hospital. At this time,
Dr. Megan Rainey, the Dean of Yale Medical School. It's so good to see you again, Dr. Rainey. Last time you were here, we were talking about, I believe, a different virus altogether, the coronavirus. If HantaVirus is not normally transmitted from person to person, how is it possible, do you think, that multiple people on the ship have the virus?
Yeah, a hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship was not on my top 50 or even 100 things that I would worry about for a cruise ship. I and other experts really think there are three possibilities here. The first is that a bunch of folks were exposed when they were traveling off the ship. Maybe they went to a cave or to a house that had rodent droppings that got aerosolized and they all got infected there. The second possibility, which
Got aerosolized? Oh my god. Okay, so it's not transmittable from person to person. That's it. Game over. This ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna be the next coronavirus. You gotta have that key component, human to human transmission. You don't got that, you're fucked. Okay, I mean unless it's like mosquitoes or something, but no human. If you're counting on rat feces exposure, we good, folks. We good. Nothing to fear.
would worry me if I were a cruise ship owner is that there were mice or other rodents on the cruise ship that were running around and exposed a bunch of folks. The third possibility.
There you go. Another nail in the coffin of the cruise industry, folks. That's what people need to know. I mean, because there are mice everywhere. Okay, you bet your asses there are mice on ships. Okay, but now that it's out in the open and everybody's talking about, were there rats on this cruise ship? You're gonna see cruise ship cancellations left and right. You know, the Disney Dream or the Disney Wish, whatever the fuck these cruise ships are called.
And the one that most worries folks like me, public
Drac going all in. He's like, people on these cruises are on their last holiday. It's all fat old people dying of random shit. I mean, look, there are a lot. The age range of people on cruise ships is older, I would say, right? You do see that a lot. I'm not a fan of cruise ships, maybe because the only time I've ever been on a cruise ship was when we were evacuating Lebanon in the 2006 war against Israel. Israel was bombing the shit out of Lebanon. The U.S. was evacuating American citizens. So they evacuated me on the Orient Queen, the Lebanese cruise ship. You guys want to look at that? The Orient Queen, Lebanon, 2006. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. There's an article about us in NBC News, 2006. Ship carrying 1,000 Americans reaches Cyprus. I was on that ship, folks. There it is, the Orient Queen. I was evacuated from Lebanon on that puppy right there. Me and my sister. The United States ramped up its evacuation of citizens from Lebanon after a slow start as a luxury cruise ship carrying 1,000 Americans arrived in Cyprus early Thursday, a week after the Israeli bombardment began. The Orient Queen reached Cyprus's port of Larnaca after a 9-hour journey, completing the first and massive really blah, 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 blah. That was me, folks. Let's look at some images of that Orient Queen. There it is. Ah, look at us in line. Am I in that picture? I might be in this picture, folks. Look at us waiting like dogs in line just to get on a ship. Zero dignity. Please, please, America, save us. Oh, give us the free cruise ship. It was free, by the way, folks. We did not have to pay for that cruise ship. Is that Netanyahu? What the fuck is that? Anyways, folks. Here's a domestic worker. Unfortunately, the reality of Lebanon is a domestic worker who's probably there, who's probably not even going to be allowed to leave. She's just there to like help the family carry their bags, and they're like, all right, get the fuck back now. You can't get on this cruise ship. Anyways, that was a big detour. Ploink.
health experts, emergency physicians, is the possibility that there could be person-to-person transmission. And Jake, here's the important part. There has been a report of one strain of HantaVirus.
Nogzolotl. I'll get your super chat. We're going to talk about, I'll do the Morgan segment in a second. I'll watch it after this.
In Argentina, known as the Andes strain, which is known to cause limited person-to-person transmission. Many of us are worried that it may be that strain that got onto the boat and that may be spreading, but it's far too early to know.
So
There's a
HantaVirus
person-to-person strain from Argentina,
which is known to cause HantaVirus in Argentina, known as the Andes strain, which is known to cause limited person-to-person transmission. Many of us are worried that it may be that strain that got onto the boat and that may be spreading, but it's far too early to know.
So HantaVirus is
Lady, we don't need that.
highly deadly.
Folks that work on pandemic preparedness.
Do you figure out how to contain the virus? Is it to keep everyone on the ship and certain individuals isolated?
Well, this is the first reported outbreak of the.
I mean, again, if there's no human-to-human transmission, then who cares? But what scared me, folks, is this. Look, Israel has confirmed their first recorded case of a human with HantaVirus. It has reached the Middle East, unfortunately. The Israelis had to fuck it up for all of us, of course. We're all out here in Lebanon happy, no HantaVirus over here. We didn't do anything wrong. We weren't on no conspicuous cruise ship hanging out with fucking rats and inhaling rat piss. But the Israelis were. They love piss and poop. They love this shit. They reportedly contracted a different strain of the virus months ago, unrelated to the Honduras cruise ship outbreak. Ooh, they've had it for a long time, huh? Maybe it started there. Patient zero is in Israel. Who would be shocked? No one. But it's close to Lebanon now, which is a fucking problem. And of course the Israelis brought it here. It's what we needed, huh? God damn.
Virus on a cruise ship. So that's a bit a new territory, but the virus itself is not new. Indeed, it's carried by rodents. People get contaminated through inhaling particles, mostly from feces or urine.
That's inhaling feces or urine. Why did since when do we inhale urine like this? How much cat piss does there need to be, or rat piss or rat poop, that it comes in the air and you have to like inhale that shit? Like that only happens in homes that have like 100 cats and you're literally breathing in the ammonia and shit. That's just like the smell.
Suspected patients or people, 3 unfortunately pass away. 2 people are on the ship but are under medical care by the authorities of Cabo Verde, and 1 laboratory confirmed patient is in the intensive care unit in South Africa. Now, it's very important for the public to realize that the overall risk to the public remains low. It's very tough to be transmitted human to human, though.
All right, awesome. Risk to the public is low, tough to transmit human to human. We're safe.
Not impossible.
When will people be allowed off the ship?
Honestly, I can't deal with another pandemic. The pandemic destroyed society. It tore people apart, vaccine versus non-vaccine. I don't want to go through that again. I never want to have to argue with someone whether or not I want to get a vaccine, whether they should get the vaccines, whether the vaccine is rushed. What should we do? I don't want to wear a mask. I want to wear a mask. Fuck you. I don't want to stay home. I don't want to go through that again. I'm done. It was fun for like a week when it was like, oh, we get to work from home. We get to stay home. Ooh, it's like it's going to be like a little break. It's like kind of a movie. Then it stopped being fun very fucking fast, okay? And obviously people died. People in my family died. Like when I say fun, I say that loosely. It was just like, oh, what pandemic? That's kind of like a movie. You know, that like adrenaline rush you kind of get. But it quickly became a nightmare for everyone involved. People are still recovering either from long COVID or from the mental anguish that happened of being alone for 2 years and having to you know, sequester yourself from your families and friends and society. As long as we're safe. Okay, there's this tweet that explains how it's not harmful. Fuck it. The guy told us it's fine.
So there is an international coordination between all the...
All right, that's it. He said low risk. We're good, guys. It's just the media trying to scare us. It's just the media trying to scare us. Claudia says COVID broke people's brains. Exactly. I do not want to deal with another outbreak, and I'm good. Joey Nasarani, what up? Yeah, it sounds German, something like that. The feces or pish, urine. Okay, folks, let us talk about Melissa Barrera. As you guys know, a few months ago, was it like a year ago at this point? Melissa Barrera was fired from Scream 7. She was in Scream 5. She was in Scream 6. Her and, God, what's her name? Wednesday Addams. I forget her name. They played sisters in the Scream franchise, in the new Scream movies, and they were supposed to... close out the trilogy of new Scream movies with Scream 7. Then Melissa Barrera made some anti-Israel statements, and she ended up being fired from Scream 7. And then her co-star, I'm not remembering the name at all. Scream 6. Jenna Ortega. So Jenna Ortega also ended up leaving once they fired Melissa Barrera. She was like, fuck this, I don't want to be in this anymore. The whole movie fell apart. The director left. Then they ended up scrambling. They had to bring back the old actors, wrote a brand new script. They had to make a brand new Scream 7. It was, I think, Spyglass Entertainment. It's owned. So it's definitely it's a Paramount film. And it's produced by Spyglass, both Zionist groups. So the fact that they fired Melissa Barrera for what they claim to be anti-Semitic remarks, they're piece of shit Zionists. Also, as you guys know, Paramount is owned by Larry and David Ellison, who are massive Zionists. Larry Ellison made a massive donation to the Friends of the IDF. He's the owner of Oracle, etc., etc. They now own Warner Brothers. They made a bid to buy Warner Brothers. So horrible stuff that's happening there. So she recently apparently did an interview with Variety, where she said a whole bunch of shit that we're gonna look at right now, just completely shitting on Hollywood, the industry, actors from Scream 7 who came back and worked with a studio that basically fired her for her pro-Palestine thoughts. It's honestly kind of shocking that she would do this. And Melissa Barrera, keep in mind, is not that big of a Hollywood star. She's still an up-and-coming actor. For all intents and purposes, you know what I mean? So for her to take such a strong stance for a second time and double down on her anti-Israel, pro-Palestine stance is extremely courageous from someone like this. Again, she's not at the level of, like, you know, a massive star like a Javier Bardem or Mark Ruffalo, where she's been so established in the industry, where she's safe from all of this. And even I mean, look at Susan Sarandon. Susan Sarandon can't land a role because of how outspoken she is. But still, you can still be in Hollywood, but if you're powerful enough, you can be outspoken and say things like this. But Melissa Barrera is not there, so that makes me so much more impressed with her and at the level of courage that she has. So Variety asks Melissa Barrera if she thinks people that return for Scream 7 are scabby and crossing the picket line. She said, oh, 100%. I think they all are, and they have to live with that. The only way they're able to make that movie after what happened was to nostalgia bait as much as possible. So she's calling people like Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, you know, actors from the original Scream franchise scabs. A scab is basically someone who crosses the picket line when people are boycotting something or protesting an industry. So in Hollywood, they would call when the Writers Guild was protesting and was on strike, writers that still decided to work and get jobs were called scabs. So she's calling these actors scabs, essentially. Let's see if we can read the whole thing here. Melissa Barrera was canceled by Hollywood for speaking out against Israel. She's still fighting her way back, by Marlo Stern. Let's read the whole thing, I guess, instead of just reading the excerpts. I think this is worth reading. A bit of a long read, but definitely worth it. So, buckle up, folks. In late 2023, as Israeli bombs decimated Gaza in retribution for these October 7th attacks, and oh my God, look, the framing is already in retribution. I'm sorry, like, a genocide cannot be in retribution. The framing of this article is already like, but they were doing it in retribution for October the 7th. The framing is horrible. In late 2023, as Israeli bombs decimated Gaza in retribution for the October 7th attack, actress Melissa Barrera took stock of the carnage and spoke out. The Scream and In the Heights star posted daily messages to her Instagram, calling for peace, criticizing the Israeli government's killing of Palestinian civilians, and comparing Gaza to a concentration camp. She posted fundraising links to Palestinian human rights organizations and shared articles by Holocaust scholars accusing Israel of committing genocide. The Hollywood powers that be took notice, and a month later, she was fired from her lead role in Scream 7 and pushed out of her talent agency, WMU. I forgot about that. Not only was she fired, she was pushed out of a talent agency. That's fucking crazy. Same thing happened to Susan Sarandon as well. Spyglass, the production company behind the Scream films, issued the following statement to Variety at the time about Barrera's firing. And also, by the way, Nogzalato, I did not forget your super chat. It says Morgan also showed tarantulas and it was creepy. We'll talk. Just remind me here. Let me add that to the topics list real quick. I'll add that. Remind me later, chat, to react to the H3 clip at the end. Okay. Thank you so much, Nogzalato, for the generous $2 donor, by the way. Much love. And for telling me that it's Jenna Ortega. Spyglass, the production company behind the Scream films, issued the following statement to Variety about at the time about Barrera's firing. Spyglass's stance is unequivocally clear. We have zero tolerance for anti-Semitism or the incitement of hate in any form, including false references to genocide. False references to genocide. Those fucking fuckers. So you know the people at Spyglass are mega Zionists. The people at Paramount are mega Zionists. For not only, like, okay, you can conflate and be like, that sounds a bit anti-Semitic to us. Criticizing Israel could be interpreted as criticizing the Jews. We're scared. We're getting cold feet. You could, okay, a lot of people could do that. But false reference to genocide, you're like an out and about, fully, you own it, Zionist. Incitement, including false references to genocide, ethnic cleansing. They're also denying ethnic cleansing, Holocaust distortion, or anything that flagrantly crosses the line into hate speech. Barrera rejected Spyglass's claims of anti-Semitism and the incitement of hate, responding, I believe a group of people are not their leadership and that no governing body should be above criticism. I pray day and night for no more deaths, no more violence, and for peaceful coexistence. I will continue to speak out for those that need it most and continue to advocate for peace and safety, for human rights and freedom. Silence is not an option for me. For nearly a year after her firing, Barrera's offers completely dried up. Few messages of support came. She was in a dark place, overcome by the notion that she'd lost the thing she loved most, the thing she dreamed about as a child growing up in Mexico and during the years spent cutting her teeth in telenovelas. I'm seated across from Barrera, 35, at a bustling restaurant in Manhattan's Theater District. She's in a much better place right now, currently featuring in Titanic as Rose, the besieged damsel navigating the chaos on board of the Titanic and complicated dynamics of her mother, played by Jim Parsons, the Victor Garber character Frankie Grand, the unsinkable Molly Brown, Deborah Cox, and Jack, Constantine Rozzulli, and Cal John Riddle, the two-man children battling for her affection. Oh, and if that weren't enough, there's also none other than Celine Dion, Marla Mendel, who is somehow convinced that she was on the Titanic. It's a wonderfully campy Broadway musical that earned 4 Tony nominations, including Best Musical. Though she says she's never felt happier, more fulfilled, or more at peace starring on Broadway, which was always a goal of hers, she's still struggling to make sense of what happened to her. I feel like I have this fatal flaw, where I think I can do anything, offers Barrera. It's my biggest strength, and it's my biggest weakness at the same time. In an in-depth interview with Variety, Barrera opened up about her cancellation and the long road back. Last time we spoke in January of 2024, we were discussing your monster at Sundance and how, like the character you play in that film, it was your dream to star on Broadway. Now you're starring on Broadway. Okay, let's not talk about Broadway. You were really at the center of a storm when we last spoke. You'd been fired from Scream 7, and your name was being dragged through the mud. Did you think your career was over? The pessimistic side of me was having those thoughts, but the optimistic side of me was like, fuck no. I'm sure the tide will turn. And it has. But because I was one of the first to speak up, to this day there are still a lot of people in the industry who have a personal grudge against me. And it was wildly misreported what you'd posted. To this day, nearly every article about your firing states that you'd shared a Jewish current story on social media alleging the Israeli government was distorting the Holocaust to boost the Israeli arms industry, labeling it anti-Semitic. But in that story, written by Israeli Holocaust scholar Ras Siegel, he writes, I have written about settler colonialism and Jewish supremacy in Israel, the distortion of the Holocaust to boost the Israeli arms industry, etc. He was listing previous stories he'd written, not discussing the current situation. And the actual story Siegel was referring to in The Nation was about how the Israeli government allowed Bulgaria to whitewash their World War II history to secure an arms deal with the country. Those people still deny that what's going on is a genocide. So we're never going to see eye to eye on that. What do you mean when you say those people? I mean the people that accused me of being anti-Semitic and the people that run Spyglass. And they're wrong. Just factually wrong. Let's fucking go. Bro. She's going against some very fucking powerful people. And the people that run Spyglass, aren't they the same people that run Paramount? No, it's run by industry veteran Gary Barber, but Spyglass is in cahoots with Paramount. Paramount is owned by the Ellisons. So her taking a stand like this, saying this, look, who do you mean when you say those people? She says, I mean the people that accused me of being anti-Semitic and the people that run Spyglass, and they're wrong, just factually wrong. That is so fucking courageous. That is so fucking badass. It's been rather gendered as far as the people who've had to face repercussions for speaking out against Israel. You were fired from Scream and essentially blacklisted. Susan Sarandon was dropped by her talent agency. Maha Dakhil resigned from the board of CAA. And Miss Rachel is constantly under attack. Why are mostly women facing repercussions for this? That's true. No one talks about Mark Ruffalo, Javier Bardem, all these male celebrities that speak out against Israel. They're not getting in nearly as much trouble as Melissa Barrera have and the women that this person has listed. That's such a good point. I have my theory as to why that happens, but one of the reasons that I wanted to do theater in 2026 is because I needed a break from all this bullshit that is Hollywood. And I mean specifically Hollywood, not the film or television industry at large. I needed a break because I'm still blocked from certain places to this day. I only have a myopic vision of my own life, but I don't think anyone in the entertainment industry was affected the way that I was. I was looking at the promotional poster for this new show, The Sweetest Kill, and the tagline said she knew the cost, she did it anyway. And I was like, that's me. I became the face of it, and I didn't want that, nor should I have been. And that's what I kept saying when it happened. I kept saying, like, yo, what she's saying is such a big deal because she does not have the cachet, the industry cachet yet to do this and to get away with it. And she did it anyways. Your posts didn't seem incendiary. They criticized the Israeli government for its destruction of Gaza. The specifics of my situation were like a perfect storm. I'm a woman of color in this industry. I'm on the rise, but I don't have a big enough name to be untouchable. There we go. I've been telling you guys this for a year, for 2 years. Literally. She's not untouchable. And I just said it earlier on the stream. I don't have a big enough name to be untouchable, so they can make an example out of me. I'm well known enough that you can write articles and create all the clickbait propaganda that you need, but I'm also not big enough that people are going to care enough or revolt or do anything in the industry for me. I was the perfect scapegoat. Did anyone reach out to support you during that time? At least Jenna Ortega dropped out of Scream. Did anyone reach out to support you during that time? At least Jenna Ortega dropped out of Scream. She shakes head and says, that's not the reality of things. Really? So, yeah, so people were saying that Jenna Ortega, I guess it was confusing. People were saying that Jenna Ortega had dropped out of Scream because of Melissa and that they were still friends. Other people said that it was scheduling issues. So did anyone reach out to support? At least Ortega dropped out of Scream. Maybe she's shaking her head at the first part of that question. Did anyone reach out to support? She says, that's not the reality of things, really. I got some messages of support from people in the industry, but what I found is that private messages with no action mean nothing. Bro, this girl's a badass, dude. Right. Why couldn't they at least send a tweet or have the message be public? Exactly. And I have faith. And I had faith. I was like, someone is going to reach out to me and help me. It's just a matter of time. You know who was really the only person? Boots Riley. I love him. He reached out to me 10 months later. I had 10 torturous months of uncertainty and no work and suffering and not even knowing if my team was on my side. It was terrible. And Boots sent me a message in August of 2024 and was like, I got a part for you in my movie. And he offered me a part, and I love boosters. And for some reason, once Boots sent me that message, I suddenly had 5 messages with offers in my inbox. It's like he flipped a switch. I call him the wizard. The energy shifted, and I got the Copenhagen test. And did that because it was a longer job and I wanted to work and be back on set, and it was money that I hadn't made in a while, so I couldn't do the Boots movie, but I credit him because he's literally the only person in the industry who reached out and said, let me help you out. I know Boots Riley got into some controversy recently. I don't know why. He made some comments. I can't remember why people were up against him, but that's pretty fucking dope of Boots Riley. I like some of his movies. He's made some interesting films. The one where like the guy turns into a horse, I forgot what that was called, but it was nice. Oh, that's right. Rachel Zegler, too, got attacked. Nogzalotl, you're right. 100%. Do you think there's been a bit of a sea change in Hollywood around Israel and Palestine? No Other Land won the Best Documentary Oscar, which was surprising. You have Javier Bardem on red carpets and stages saying Free Palestine. I love seeing Javier, and Javier has been vocal about Palestine forever. It's funny. I thought, everyone must be getting affected, I'm sure. But I have a friend who works closely with artists for Ceasefire, who has access to a lot of these artists, and she gave me the reel and said, no, Melissa, they have not been affected at all. And so that's why they're able to be so vocal. So I thought it must be nice to be able to speak your mind and not have to suffer any consequences. But we do need their voices. Yeah, again, Javier Bardem is at that level where he's untouchable. The guy's a legend. I don't know if he's won an Oscar, but like he's an Oscar caliber actor. I think he has won an Oscar. If he hasn't, he might soon in the future. He's an incredible actor, decent human being. Any actor I don't give a fuck about actors' opinions, but as soon as they stand up for what's right and say something that is pro-Palestine or pro-humanity, you got my respect. That's when you'll get my respect. Going back to mostly women being targeted over this, I think that's largely been the case. Susan Sarandon was someone who's been affected by this, and she's been super supportive of me. She came to the opening of Titanic. She's a fucking icon. I love her. She's such a good role model, but now I'm here, and I'm so happy. That must be pretty fucking awesome having Susan Sarandon, like, supporting you because you're both badasses. What a great, like, icon to have in your life. Were you a fan of the film Titanic growing up? Blah, blah, blah. And you acted in plays when you were young? Okay, I see you rocking 2 anchor necklaces. There's a fun nod to Scream in the musical where a character says to you, do you want to die, Sydney? And that was already there, but now it's funnier because it's directed at me. Okay, does it also feel like you're reclaiming Scream in a way? Yeah, a little bit. The reality is that Scream is always going to be a big part of me because it was 2 years of my life. It gave me a lot, and I'm grateful specifically to Matt Berlini and Tyler Gillette who gave me that shot. That hasn't been sourced for me. They don't have that power. And let's be real, the 7th one sucked. I know, and I think they lied about the numbers. I don't think it made that much money, but at the stage door, I sign Scream things every night. People who love me from those movies are coming to see the show, and they can't ever take that away from me. So she's claiming that they're lying about how much Scream made at the box office. Scream 7 grossed $207 million worldwide. Variety independently verifies box office gross. Look, I'm sure they're not going to lie about the numbers, but she just hates them so much. I don't blame her for saying that. And I think they lied about the numbers. I don't think it made that much money. Honestly, it was kind of shocking that it made that much money, but the only reason it even made that much money was because people loved Screams 5 and 6. People loved Screams 5 and 6, and they were excited for Scream 7. Now, yeah, they had to change the whole script, but, like, they did such a good job. They teed up the 7th one perfectly, so there was hype. Like, that movie made money because of the goodwill of the last 2. If Scream 5 and 6 were shit, believe me, no one would have showed up for 7. They would have been like, hey, the last 2 were crap. We're not going to show up to this. But the last 2 were solid films, and they starred Melissa Barrera. So Scream 7 definitely benefited from the goodwill of the last 2 movies. People don't care about Neve Campbell anymore or Courtney Cox. I'm sorry. They went there because they went to the last 2 Scream movies, had a good enough time, and were like, you know what, if we go to the 7th one, we might have a good time. That's why it made money. You were fired from Scream 7. Jenna Ortega didn't return. The director dropped out, but then Spyglass brought back cast members from the prior Scream films. Did that seem scabby to you? Did it feel like those people were basically crossing the picket line? Oh, 100%. I think they all are, and they have to live with that. The only way they were able to make that movie after what happened was to nostalgia bait it as much as possible. And she's right. And honestly, I do agree with her. It was kind of shitty. There was a video of Matthew Lillard, the guy who seems like a nice enough guy, who Quentin Tarantino shat all over, being like, I don't like Matthew Lillard. He's a bad actor. That guy was like on stage somewhere in Hollywood, like, we should all talk about love, man. And like, we should talk about love. Like, dude, you agreed to, I mean, okay, I get it. He was an iconic part of that movie. He was in Scream 1. So it would make sense for him to come back to the franchise. But for none of these actors to defend Melissa Barrera, like, if I were Neve Campbell, if I were these original actors that came back to Scream 7, I would have been like, listen, we appreciate you guys offering us the role. We think what you guys did to Melissa Barrera was fucked up. And all of us stand together. And if you guys want to bring us back, we're happy to come back, but not at the cost of Melissa Barrera. You bring back Melissa Barrera, and I'll be more than happy to make a cameo, come back for Scream 8, write me into this movie. But, like, you don't willingly sit silently, watch as Spyglass and Paramount fire an actress for making pro-Palestine comments, say nothing to defend that person, and then just conveniently accept an offer to come back to the franchise once the other actors have been completely purged. Fuck those people. And people like Matthew Lillard, who pretend to be leftists and humanitarians and Democrats, and I'm a leftist and we support love, and why is there so much hate in the world? What was he fucking talking about? I can't remember. Something really fucking cheesy. Something like maybe anti-ICE, like ICE is bad, man. Like, yeah, okay, you can say ICE is bad, but you have nothing to speak out about Zionism. So I think that those actors that just watched an actress get fired and have her whole career potentially ruined because of doing nothing wrong, for standing up for what's right, they are scabs. They should be embarrassed with themselves, you know what I mean? And fuck them. I can relate to what happened to you a bit. I was let go from a media job, even though I thought we were doing great work, and I struggled to understand the why. When you're doing something that feels like it's the right thing to do, and then you're punished for it, it really fucks with your head. Definitely. I spent a lot of time wondering what I did wrong, and if I could have gone about it any differently to avoid that outcome. For me, I was like, wait, I'm trying to call out something that is severely, severely wrong and evil. And I get punished for it. I get everything taken from me. What is the lesson I'm supposed to learn? I was even questioning God. What are you trying to teach me? Because I don't understand why the ones that are trying to do the right thing are getting punished. And the people that are like, la, 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 continue to rise. I don't understand this game. What is this? It was a rude awakening. And you grew up Catholic. Okay, why aren't you money for fame? Okay, and I think that is the most interesting stuff about the interview. Great interview, honestly. Great, super badass from Melissa Barrera. She did not stand down at all. She stood her ground and was like, hey, the people at Spyglass, the people that fired me, they are wrong. And I completely disagree with them. So fucking awesome. And also, okay, so I guess we missed this. Melissa Barrera tells Variety that she's starting her own production company and plans to work with anyone pro-Palestine. So basically, she says, basically anyone pro-Palestine. I kept track of the people who vocally came out and said something to defend me at the time. Susan Sarandon, Tatiana Maslany, Hannah Einbender, Poppy Liu. Obviously, Javier Bardem would be a dream to work with. He doesn't need me to give him any opportunities. But yes, I have lists. I do believe in building a network of people who are like-minded. And for me, this is chapter 2. Let's go. That is what you have to do. Wait, let's try to... I do want to make sure I see that part of the interview. Maybe... Did we miss anything? So it's probably when he was like, what's in the pipeline? What's in the pipeline? I'm starting my own production company. I'm very excited about that. Who's on the lists? I have lists of people I want to work with. Okay. Okay. Awesome. We covered it. This guy's fucking annoying. This guy's a horror movie fan. He's like, this is a wild interview with Melissa Barrera, wherein she seems to suggest Ortega didn't drop out of Scream 7 in support of her. Scream 7's box office numbers are fake. The actors who starred in Scream 7 are the equivalent to picket line crossing scabs. This guy's so obsessed with, like, he loves his horror movie so much, he can't even for a second think that this is someone standing on her fucking principles, man. He's like, oh, she's talking about Scream negatively. I don't agree with everything she's saying, but they absolutely are scabs. If you think differently, you're a shitty person. Can't agree with that. Then you're a bad person. She was fired and ostracized for speaking out on a genocide. Other actors profited off of her misfortune and set a precedent. It's really disappointing and shameful for big voices like you to support this. Shame on you. I'm not supporting what happened. I just don't believe that actors accepting work are awful people, though that anyone who feels that way is also an awful person. I don't view life through such a simple lens, but if you want to call me an awful person, be my guest. Fuck you, man. Am I following this dumbass? No. Okay. Kate from Canada, hello. Okay, this person says Neve Campbell is married to a very vocal pro-Palestine advocate. By the way, her family very likely donates to pro-Palestine causes. Okay, first of all, I looked it up. Neve Campbell is not married. She's dating a pro-Palestine advocate, I guess. Not married, and she's saying her family very likely donates to pro-Palestine. She's just making the assumption because she's dating a pro-Palestinian guy. They very likely donate. Okay, you can't just say that and make it true. Melissa had no issue doing Scream 6 without Neve after Neve got screwed over. Neve called her and gave her support then. Now Melissa wants to be shady? Listen, lady. She's not being shady, bro. Neve Campbell is being shady. Neve Campbell wanted to be in the last Scream movie, wasn't offered enough money, so refused to return. But then once Paramount was desperate enough because they fired the whole cast of Scream 7, they had to start over. Then they offered Neve Campbell what she wanted, and then she accepted. It was all about money for her. Nothing with principle or anything like that. And yes, Neve Campbell should have put out a statement like, hey, I'm not willing to come work on this movie under these conditions. Like, the only reason I'm getting this opportunity is because you fired this person for making pro-Palestine comments. Fuck off. Fuck you. Bring her back. That's what Neve Campbell should have done. So fuck this person for suggesting that that's fine. Anyways, let us quickly look at that H3 clip. Nogzalotl, I'm sorry I was late. So it's in the last episode you guys were saying? H3 podcast. The last part, a pre-recorded set. So apparently, folks, Morgan, as Fart Twain let us know in the live chat that Morgan was fired from H3. And I think the only reason they probably talked about it was because
Chinese
people were asking about
girlfriend.
it.
Come on, Chinese You literally did her own name back to her.
It kind of worked.
It worked.
It kind of worked. Thank you, guys.
If you say so.
Is this it?
Incapable of doing something serious when sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow. The past couple of weeks.
Announcement. Roll it, Nate.
Hello, everybody.
And tune in tomorrow at an unusual time, but it's a poker stream, and then Friday after dark.
And then
Thank
watch
you.
the announcement.
Oh my God. And watch the announcement. Roll it, Nate.
Hello, everybody. Watch the announcement. So this is the announcement. Okay, so here is H3 Podcast announcing the firing of one of their members.
Buddy, I have a unfortunate announcement to make. You guys have noticed that Morgan's been missing the past couple of weeks, and it is with a heavy heart that I share with you that after 10 months working together, great months working together, unfortunately the position had become redundant, and it really didn't exist anymore. So we ended up having to let her go. But I do want to say that
10 months, that's rough, dude. 10 months. So they were definitely in a different financial situation 10 months ago than they are now. But also the after show, like, yeah. It all makes sense. They're over hiring. They're stretching themselves too thin. They can't afford to hire as many people as they normally do. Okay, the show is in the toilet. The views are in the toilet. Everything's in the toilet. The Teddy Fresh sales are in the toilet. The super chats are in the toilet. The memberships are in the toilet. Everything's got to be in the toilet now. So they hired Harley for the after show. They hired Girl with the Microphone for the after show. They had to replace Cam. They had to replace Ian. They had to replace Olivia. They can't. They had to get rid of someone. Makes sense.
I have nothing but respect and admiration for Morgan. I really enjoyed our time together here in the studio, and I encourage everybody to continue to support her, who loves her and has enjoyed her presence on the show, and whatever her next journey is. So, and also, yeah, if you guys want to stay up to date, you can follow our Instagram at Golly Morgan Smalley, which I'll put the link in the description, so you guys can go wish her a farewell, a bon voyage, whatever, and follow along with her journey, because she's super talented, creative, funny.
Yankees fan says Harley and Girl on the mic are terribly boring. I know, they're horrendous. They have zero charisma. Like, I don't even know how 100,000 people watch that after show.
Gal, and she's going to be great, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy following that as well. So anyway, that's where Morgan's been. Sorry for taking so long to tell you guys. It is kind of never easy knowing how to handle this stuff. But anyway, me and the whole gang wishing Morgan all the best. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
All right. Awkward. I think I had a couple. Let's stick with the Ethan Klein stuff, I guess, for a couple of seconds before we move on to the next topic. So we talked about this tweet. Hassan sharing that Ethan Klein accidentally revealed that Hassan is the only account he follows on Twitch. Hassan retweeted that, and then Ethan shares this and says, I barely even speak about this dope anymore, but he's still boosting deranged, obsessed snark accounts. Who else would I follow on our work Twitch account, bozo? So, I mean, Ethan's trying to own this and trying to act all cool, like, hey, no, look, it's not weird that you're the only account that I follow. It's my work Twitch account. Of course, we obsess over you, Hassan. You know that. Of course, obviously, I would only follow you on Twitch. Who else would I follow? People that I actually like? So Ethan defends, but then we get, by April 10th, Zionist Ethan Klein had already posted 90 Instagram stories about Hassan Piker since the start of the year. So this video is from Mike Dippy, actually. So Ethan Klein claims, I barely even speak about Hassan anymore. We're 125 days into 2026. Damn, already. Ethan has posted 99 IG stories about Hassan, a significant reduction in Hassan deranged syndrome, bringing his posting average to one post every 1.26 days.
Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still...
Dude, I love that people are keeping track of this. I love that people are documenting every single Instagram story that Ethan shares about Hassan just to track the insanity. I love it. I love it, honestly. It's still going. This is the Cuba stuff. Yeah, I recognize a lot of these. I've seen these myself. My God, bro. Also, Mike Dippy seems like a chill dude. Semi-professional hater, so he's a YouTuber at Mike Dippy. I follow this guy. We follow each other on Twitter. Seems interesting. He's got 2,000 subs. Check him out at Mike Dippy. Oops. Spoilers for later. And also, Cavernacle dropped this video. Why Ethan Klein and so many Israelis hate living in Israel. I'm thinking of doing a react video to this sometime this weekend. Possibly, maybe tomorrow afternoon. If I'm free. I'm not sure if I'm free tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday or something. So I'm going to do a full video reaction to why Ethan Klein and so many Israelis hate living in Israel by the Cavernacle. So that should be fun. DG or Hui, folks, just gifted 5 Do Not Worry memberships. Holy shit. By the way, DG, you were gifted a membership today on Tino's Playroom. Congratulations. You are now a Tino's friend. And thank you so much for the generous 5 gifted W's in the chat for DG, folks. All the way from Ireland. From Ireland. We got, what, 15? How many new members do we have today? 11 new members today. Holy hell. Guys, let me update. So we're at 403 members. Let me update that real quick. We're almost halfway to the 1,000. Oh. Bam. That is so kind, DG. We love you. Noxlotto says you should see how many IG posts Guam makes about Hassan. Please react to it. It's very eye-opening. Which one? This video? Noxlotto, are you talking about this, or are you talking about Guam's IG stories about Hassan? That would be crazy as well. But I don't know if I'm interested enough. I can't watch Guam that long. So Cavernacle, we're going to be doing a review for that soon. Look for that on the YouTube channel. Okay. So taste. So very taste. Okay. Folks. Next topic. Moving on. This is interesting. This is a very interesting one. Would love your opinion on this one. In the chat, James Cameron and Disney have been sued by Koryanka Kilcher for unauthorized use of her likeness as the Foundation in Neytiri and Avatar. Kilcher alleges that when she was 14, Cameron extracted her facial features from a published photograph and directed his design team to use it as the foundation for Neytiri and Avatar. Source, Variety, let's look at this whole thing. So yeah, so Kilcher alleges that when she was 14, Cameron extracted her facial features from a published photograph and directed his design team to use it as the foundation for Neytiri and Avatar. This is like very interesting as a case, because this is something that James Cameron has admitted to. So it's not like she alleges or she thinks that she looks like Neytiri. No. James Cameron is on camera saying that like he was inspired by her face and he looked at that photo and it helped him design Neytiri. But it's like, when does inspiration mean that would James Cameron not have made the Avatar movies without being inspired by her face to start designing Neytiri? Would the movies have been fundamentally different? But those movies made a lot of money, and if she played a role in inspiring at least the look of a character, one of the main characters, shouldn't she be compensated in one way or another? And isn't she somehow part of that process? So, interesting conversations to have, and I'm also interested in having that conversation with you guys. So let us dig deeper. Yeah, extracted sounded really fucked, right? He extracted the look. He extracted her facial features. They made it sound like so fucked. He just looked at a photo in a magazine. I don't know why they're saying extracted. It's reminding me of the Goon Platoon in the IDF. We must extract the milk, quick! Yetzi, quick, extract the milk from Jacob! let's read the full article, I guess. James Cameron and Walt Disney Company sued over unauthorized use of actress's likeness and avatar. So this is her as a grown-up. Director James Cameron and the Walt Disney Company have been sued for unauthorized use of an indigenous actress's likeness without her knowledge and consent. In the complaint obtained by Variety, actress Orianka Kilcher alleges that when she was 14 and had recently appeared as Pocahontas in Terrence Malick's film The New World, Cameron extracted... Stop saying that word! Yidzi, extract the facial features, quick! Cameron extracted her facial features from a published photograph and directed his design team to use it as the foundation for her character of Neytiri in Avatar. The filing states plaintiff never consented to defendant's use of her likeness, either in Avatar or in any related product or promotion. But that's the thing, though. She was never featured in Avatar. She just helped inspire the look of a character, but she's never in the final film. Her face is never in the final film. So this is where, like, I'm never going to side with corporations against artists. Like, no, Disney shouldn't have to pay her a cent. Fuck Disney. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But it depends. Like, this is kind of a lot. Like, I don't know. Like, for example, how many times have I said that this podcast was inspired by the H3 podcast? Does that technically mean I owe the H3 podcast a cut of whatever revenue this podcast makes because I was inspired, or their show helped inspire what this show can kind of look and feel like? Do I owe them a percentage of... Can Ethan... Let's not give him any ideas, but can Ethan Klein sue me and I'll be like, hey, you keep saying that your show was inspired by the H3 podcast. That means it might never have existed in the way that it currently does without the influence of our show on your podcast. So give us some money. Is that the same thing or no? I don't know. Kilcher also names Lightstorm Entertainment and multiple visual effects companies in the lawsuit. So they're going for... According to the complaint, which was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, Kilcher's likeness was replicated in production sketches, sculpted into three-dimensional maquettes, laser scanned into high-resolution digital models, and distributed across multiple visual effects vendors to form the character's image. The image was later seen in theaters, on posters, and merchandise across sequels and re-releases without her knowledge or consent. Wait a second, wait. No. That image? Her face is... the face is based on... the actress Zoe Saldana. The character no longer looks like this person. The original design, you know, the concept art looked like this person, but then it ceased to look like her. Ultimately, it does not look like her, so I don't understand this. She could be, if she wants to be compensated for being the inspiration and for like being part of like pre-production and stuff, technically, even though it was without her consent, but like pay me, compensate me for the pre-production work which you used me for. You used my face as a model. I want to be paid the rate of like a model, which whatever that would be, 10K, 100K, 20K. But to be like, my face ended up in the sequels, no, it did not. Zoe Saldana's face appeared. Well, I'm going to show you. No, so I have a lot of links. We're going to go through this. So there's a lot of evidence for and against. It's a complicated case, honestly. Like, I don't know where this could go. But if her likeness was replicated in production sketches, sculpted into 3D maquettes and lasers, so if her face was actually scanned into high-resolution digital models, then yes, she has a case. She might have a case in this situation, but it has to be her face. What Cameron did was not inspiration, it was extraction. Stop it! Said Arnold P. Peter of Peter Law Group. Okay, so they're using the word extraction on purpose because it sounds bad. It was they extracted her face. What Cameron did was not inspiration, it was extraction. Said Arnold P. Peter of Peter Law Group. Arnold P. Peter of Peter Law Group? What the fuck? P. Peter? P. Peter? What Cameron did was not inspiration, it was extraction. Said Arnold P. Peter of Peter Law Group, lead counsel for Kilcher. He took the unique biometric facial features of a 14-year-old indigenous girl, ran them through an industrial production process, and generated billions of dollars in profit without ever once asking her permission. That is not filmmaking. That is theft. Okay, you see. I want to support her case. But now the sleazy lawyer is getting involved. And the sleazy lawyer is making it seem like James Cameron would not have been able to make billions of dollars without this person. Okay, first of all, I'm sorry, and I'm not siding with Disney. Maybe I'm siding with the artist of James Cameron right now. Forget Disney as a corporation or whatever. I'm siding with James Cameron for a second. James Cameron is the man that made Titanic, which was the highest grossing movie of all time, before he ever touched the Avatar films. Whoever he had used as an initial face model for Neytiri, let me tell you now, has no final bearing on the technology that he developed to make that movie, on the 3D effects that he helped pioneer to make that film. Whether he had used Susan Sarandon as a face model for Neytiri, or he had used my face, sure, he used an indigenous woman and who should be compensated for her role as a concept art model or something. But to be like, to try to make, he took the vibe of a 14-year-old indigenous girl, like they're playing that she's a minor indigenous girl. Okay. And he didn't scan the child though, like he just used her picture in a sketch, from what I can understand. He didn't steal the likeness. Guys, she's not in the movie. She's not in the movie. According to the filing, Kilcher and Cameron first met briefly at a charity event just months after the 2009 release of Avatar. At that event, Cameron personally invited Kilcher to visit his office. When she arrived approximately 1 week later, Cameron was out, and a member of his staff presented Kilcher with a framed print of a sketch Cameron had made. Attached to the print was a handwritten note from Cameron reading, "Your beauty was my early inspiration for Neytiri. Too bad you were shooting another movie next time. When I received Cameron's sketch, I believed it was a personal gesture, at most a loose inspiration tied to casting and my activism," Kilcher said. "Millions of people opened their hearts to Avatar because they believed in its message, and I was one of them. I never imagined that someone I trusted would systematically use my face as part of an elaborate design process and integrate it into a production pipeline without my knowledge or consent. That crosses a major line. This act is deeply wrong." According to the filing, Kilcher learned the truth late last year when a broadcast video interview with Cameron began circulating on social media. In the interview, Cameron stands in front of the Neytiri sketch and specifically identifies Kilcher. The actual source for this photo in the LA. So yeah, there is a video of him talking about that. According to the filing, Kilcher learned the truth late last year. Okay, so people in chat are saying guys, she should be compensated for having her face being an inspiration for concept art. The movies did not make billions of dollars because her face was used as the concept art. That is a ridiculously ludicrous claim. Ridiculously ludicrous. Should someone's face be used as concept art for a movie without their consent or without them being compensated? No. Should that person then claim that their likeness being used for a sketch led the films to make $2 billion? Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Tell me you don't understand the movie industry in another way. You know what I mean? This is like, that is essentially what you guys are saying. Whoever thinks that her face being used as a sketch artist should be compensated a fair amount as an inspiration. Absolutely. Sure. Billions of dollars? The movies made... This is, guys, I can't read. Americans love lawyers and they love lawsuits. I'm sorry. When I read a guy that says this, first of all, he's saying extraction. You guys hated the word. Now you love it? Now you guys are fans of extraction? The complaint also claims the defendants violated California's recently enacted deepfake pornography statute. So this is where this lawyer is taking this. The complaint also claims the defendants violated California's recently enacted deepfake pornography statute. It is deeply disturbing to learn that my face as a 14-year-old girl was taken and used without my knowledge or consent to help create a commercial asset that is yeah, this here, great. As a 14-year-old girl, my face was used and taken without my knowledge or consent to help create a commercial asset that has generated enormous value. This, to me, is where the case starts and ends. This is where it starts and ends, right here. The first Avatar film earned more than $2.92 billion worldwide, and the series is among the highest-grossing film of franchise of all time. The complaint describes a deliberate analog-to-digital creative process that misappropriated Miss Kilcher's identity, said Asher Hoffman, co-counsel for Kilcher. The complaint seeks compensatory and punitive damages, disgorgement of profits attributable to the use of Kilcher's likeness, injunctive relief, and corrective public disclosure. All right. Billy Beelzebub says, was Saldana's yeah, the films are made with motion capture technology. Every single actor that was in the Avatar films had their faces, their entire bodies scanned into a computer, and every single move they made with their bodies was scanned into a computer. The only reason Zoe Saldana's performance is as good as it is in Avatar is because of the motion capture. It's the same technology that was pioneered in the Lord of the Rings movies when Andy Serkis pioneered motion capture performances. The character of Neytiri in the final film looks just like Zoe Saldana. What they're claiming is when James Cameron was trying to pitch the movie and he was trying to draw the proto version of Neytiri, the first version, he used the photo of an indigenous person and modeled the early version of that character based on her. By the time they got the technology developed and they started rolling on the films, the character looked like Neytiri. So what I'm trying to say is that that person's final face is nowhere to be seen in the final film. Did her... But everybody, the Na'vi are based on indigenous people. They're based on Native Americans, whatever you want, whatever kind of native tribe. So, yes, it was very much inspired by her, and she should be compensated for something. But it's the way they're playing it and the way they're talking about it, it's making it seem like even James Cameron admitted, like, he gave her a signed picture. If he thought he was doing something wrong, he wouldn't have given her, like, a signed photo. He's like, hey, look, you inspired, like, your face inspired this character in the early stages. Here's a signed picture. So, to me, it seems to me like he did it as a gesture of like he didn't think he was doing anything wrong. So I also think if they had reached out to him personally, he would have been down to pay. I don't know. He's a fucking billionaire. He doesn't give a fuck. Okay. So here's Cameron's quote. We can actually watch the video. Let's see.
Yet. Yeah. And but I knew that the design of we hadn't cast Zoe Saldana yet. Yeah. And but I knew that the design of Neytiri.
So look, you can see the lips. They look a lot like the actress. They look a lot like the actress.
It was going to be the keystone for all of the Na'vi characters, because the question was, how human do we want to be? How alien do we want to be? And we had a lot of designs coming in. We had Wayne Barlow working with us, who's done some amazing artwork about extraterrestrial creatures and ecosystems. They kept coming back so alien that I didn't feel an empathetic connection. So I did this drawing to just give the art department a kind of an inspiration, and I wanted her to be a person that we wanted to know. But the source for this was a photograph that was in the LA Times as part of the promotion for The New World. There's a young actress named Koryanka Kilcher who played Pocahontas in The New World. So this is actually her lower face. She had a very interesting face, and I wound up.
Drac, you're kind of losing in the chat, man. You got to relax. Saying pay her, rich ass loser. First of all, who told you that Jim Cameron doesn't want to pay her or refuses to pay her? Then you're saying stealing someone's face to make yourself billions. Are you telling me the movie wouldn't have made billions if he had used any other actress in Hollywood's face as just a model to put alien makeup over? Like why like, you know what I mean? What's up with this extracting someone's face? He's talking about it like, I was inspired by this person, and this person, you know how many artists are inspired by things that they see, people that they see walking down the street, a plant that they see, someone sees someone walking down the street, then they make a whole fucking painting out of them. People are inspired by things they see every single day. You see a picture of a woman, of an indigenous woman in a book, and then you use that face to help inform the movie that you're making about indigenous aliens. What more do you, like, don't you want people to base their films, especially their sci-fi films, in some kind of reality and give them some kind of verisimilitude and ground them? Yeah, should he have paid her? Of course, he should have paid her. And I'm not telling you he shouldn't have paid, but the over-aggressive, like the rich-ass loser should have paid her. I'm sure he's down to pay her. Those movies cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. Like, I'm sure it's in the budget to give her 20 grand. They didn't literally scan her face into a computer. He literally drew a sketch of the person. So just relax.
Meeting her years later, and I gave her a signed print. Not that she was the inspiration for the character, but I just wanted to show how a specific person's look could come through in the character, and that was important because then the second we cast Zoe, we started, Neytiri suddenly looked like Zoe. So,
There you go.
But I just wanted to show how a specific person's look could come through in the character, and that was important because then the second we cast Zoe, we started, Neytiri suddenly looked like Zoe. So, it was the question is.
So the sketch, this is why this is such a complicated and interesting. So the sketch, so that person's face, that actor's face, inspired the early concept art for Neytiri. So it did help them inform the film to some degree, but again, it could have been anyone. It could have been any indigenous person. This is a photo that was published in a magazine. You know what I mean? Like T-Talk with Shaw says, yeah, the photo was published in the LA Times. It wasn't a private family photo stolen from her pack. Like, yeah, it's a picture of someone in a magazine. And in fact, he went the extra step to be like, hey, by the way, you might not know this, but your face helped inspired this character. Like, here's a signed, like, to me, that's a nice gesture of sending a sign. Like, she's like, but then they scanned me into a computer. Who the fuck said they scanned you into a computer? I don't know. Now, if she did get scanned, that would be a problem. But how do you get? But you can't get scanned unless you're physically there. They just scanned the photo and made her into a character. I don't know.
How did we get to that point?
If they actually did scan her, let me try to see. No, so look, the lawsuit says that her likeness was captured in sketches sculpted into physical maquettes and laser scanned into digital models used for the films. Her face was never used for the films. Now, even if they did scan them into maquettes and use them for inspiration or to make like test footage, you still need to compensate her. Absolutely. But what I don't like, honestly, is someone taking credit for someone else's success. Like Avatar was worked on, was James Cameron's, and I don't even like the movies that much, but like to just be like, hey, it wouldn't have made $1 billion unless you used my face. It's like, just fucking relax, okay? And I support you. And yes, he did steal Pocahontas. It's basically Pocahontas in space. It's Dances with Wolves in space. He stole the whole thing. So it's even more ironic that he stole the design. Like, that's what's funny. It's basically Pocahontas in space, and he literally stole Pocahontas's face. You know what I mean? Like, he literally, because she was in the movie, The New World, or whatever the fuck it was called, she played Pocahontas. So he took inspiration from Pocahontas's face to make his Space Pocahontas movie. But dude, look, here's some examples of how much she actually does look like her. So look at this. People are claiming that she looks like her here. Maybe but to me, this is Zoe Saldana here. She looks a lot more like her here. This is the original James Cameron sketch. This is purely her. You got her lips and everything. So this is the sketch that she's talking about. This is the sketch that James Cameron used, drew up and showed like his artist, and was like, hey, this is the look that we need for these characters. Who's David? Drac, who's David? You keep saying David. I don't know who David is. Does anyone know who David is? Oh, I thought this was a video. It's James Cameron, guys. James Cameron. This whole time, I'm like, who the fuck is David? Sorry, half your comments I did not understand because you're like, I'm like, who's David? And I was just like, gloss over them. So that picture very much looks like her. Here, I mean, listen, guys, this is... I'm going to tell you guys honestly. I think... Here's what I think needs to happen. She needs to be compensated as an inspiration for the sketches, for the concept art. Right now, they're doing pictures like this. Now, the lawyer isn't arguing this, but if the lawyer actually tries to show a picture like this and be like, look, this looks like my client, sir, I think here they're getting into very gray and murky territory. Because now, they're going to be like, look, she looks like the alien, when in fact, this looks like Zoe Saldana. But they're going to be like, but because she was in the sketch, this does not look like this. So this, look, this, I'm sorry, does not look like this. This is very different than this. This does look like her, but this is not Neytiri. This is not Jake Sully's wife in Avatar. I do not recognize this Na'vi. I ain't seen this person ever in my life. I recognize Neytiri. That's Zoe Saldana right here. But that's not her. I don't know, man. Crazy. But pay her. Pay her. Pay everyone. If you got to pay the gaffers, you got to pay the the food, the cooks, the chefs, the catering team. You got to pay the cleaners. You got to pay. Everybody's got to get paid on a movie set. Why are you hiring models? Why are you using face models without compensating, paying them? You know what I mean? Now, how much should she be paid? Does she deserve a massive piece? Was she the reason? Like, would the Avatar film still have made $2.92 billion without this person? Yes, absolutely. He would have just used another person's face as a model. It doesn't matter. So the compensation should be limited, in my opinion, to what her contribution was to the film, which was she gave James Cameron an early reference for the early designs for his characters. And God bless, she needs to get compensated for that. Does that mean she needs to get paid $1 million? Like, how much in that? My question is, how much is she looking for in damages? Does she need to get paid as much as Zoe Saldana? If she's looking to make as much as an actor in Avatar, I'm sorry, that's fucking insane. That's crazy. Let me see how much she's trying to get. How can I even find that out? She's seeking damages of at least $1.5 million, along with a share of the profits from the $5.2 billion Avatar franchise. A share of the profits? I think $1.5 million is fair. A share of the profits of $5.2 billion for doing literally nothing. I'm sorry, the 1.5 mil is more than enough. 1.5 million is nuts for that. Now she wants, bro, but it's probably not even her, dude. It's the fucking blood-sucking lawyers. Like, well, here's what happens. She goes in with a legitimate case. Like, hey, I think this fucking billionaire and fucking Disney maybe took advantage of me. I was a 14-year-old girl. They used my face in their concept art. I think I'm entitled to something. What does a lawyer hears that and goes like, oh, they did what? And then they start highlighting 14, indigenous, person of color, took advantage, didn't know, extracted, scanned, used, this, inspired, billions. He made billions. Wouldn't have made it without her. It's like, and then lawyers start asking for more money because the more she gets, the more the lawyer gets. If she gets profits from the $5.2 billion franchise, he gets a cut. If she gets a 1.5 payout, he gets a cut. So the more she gets, the more he's entitled to get. So she has 100% a legitimate case. David Cameron said it himself, to quote Drac the Ripper. David Cameron said it himself, right? He's like, she's the inspiration for this. Here's what she looks like. It's only fair that she should be compensated. Maybe he felt like, but I'm just an artist. Here's a picture of a woman. It's not wrong to use that as inspiration. And ultimately, she's not in the final film. She's not a character in the film. Zoe Saldana's in the film. The final character looks like Zoe Saldana. It does not look like her. I understand that way of thinking. Okay, again, Drac, should I pay H3 Podcast a fee for being inspired by their show? My show, the set of my show kind of looks like theirs. My logo kind of looked like theirs. There's a lot of stuff that is inspired by the H3 Podcast. Do you think I owe them money? Do I owe the H3 Podcast money for using them as an inspiration and for openly talking about it? I'm on camera multiple times saying like, hey, Teddy Fresh helped even inspire the logo. One of the Teddy Fresh shirts helped inspire the logo for the show. Colors, the themes, the topics that we talk about, the vibe of the show, having crew members, etc. That is inspired by the H3 Podcast. I know, kid. I said I made that same joke. Let's not give Ethan any mistakes. So, in my opinion, this kind of exists in that same world. I think James Cameron saw the pictures like, hey, I'm writing a movie about indigenous space aliens. Here's an indigenous person. Now, again, it's all fucked. Is this also another case of a white person taking advantage of an indigenous person and using an indigenous person for his own wealth and his own enrichment and telling indigenous stories and making it into like a sci-fi fantasy that's made him billions of dollars while indigenous people are still in the dirt eating shit? Of course it's fucked. We can make a whole video essay about just that. We could, you know? It is fucked. And she should get paid. You know? I don't mean to get defensive, but like, it's when I read the lawyers, it's when I read lawyers speak, like, ultimately the guy needed inspiration for his movie. He saw a picture of an indigenous person. Okay, he's making space Pocahontas. He took a picture of Pocahontas. It was like, hey, can you draw some alien makeup on this person? And then once we hire someone, that'll be the basis for the Haida. That's it. That's what happened. You know? Pay her something. Haley says 1.5 million. These nuts. That's a lot of money. I think we're all in agreement she deserves payment. Everyone agrees she deserves payment. And I think, guys, I think James Cameron has everything saved. They have their entire production pipeline from beginning to end. He can literally pinpoint to exactly where, like, hey, this is when we cast Zoe Saldana. This is when we scanned our first computer model. If her picture was actually turned into a 3D model and was used in like test footage for the movie, she has even more of a case. You should pay her even more money. If at this point you've turned her into a digital character, literally, if she's a digital character who looks like her and you're using her to sell the concept of the movie, she needs compensation. And even if she's just a sketch, if that sketch helped land James Cameron the money and the budget to produce Avatar, she deserves a small cut. Of course. But I like James Cameron. I like James Cameron. And as someone who likes movie theaters and who likes movie theaters to be around, I think James Cameron is one of the only guys that makes movies that make people rush out to movie theaters. I think the guy's a master storyteller. But I hope JD said this will not go to trial. It will settle. They will definitely settle. I think James Cameron is just going to call her. Like, and if I think he's actually might get his feelings hurt by this. Like, but I thought we were okay and I gave her that signed picture. Why is she suing me? I'm sure that's going to be his reaction. And now 100% this will settle. This will 100% not go to court. Absolutely. 100%. But like what I'm telling you, yeah, and Kate, I agree with Kate. Or Irene the Dream says, I don't know what I believe. I feel for her lawsuit. I feel for her, but lawsuits like this can open the door for crazy shit like the H3 example. Exactly. Like, oh, look, this person said that I inspired those podcasts, so I want to sue him for money. Like, he used her face as an early concept art. She should be compensated for that. But them claiming that she was scanned and put in a computer, and they're saying that she ended up in the movie. She didn't. She didn't. I'm sorry. She's not in the movie. Zoe Saldana's in the movie. Anyways, let's move on. Look at this person. Look at this person. One more thing about it. She said, Stan culture needs to be raised to the ground because an indigenous woman has literal evidence, as do we, via James Cameron's confession, that her likeness was used for Neytiri's character, and everyone's calling her a liar to defend his sci-fi project. No one's calling her a liar. This person is saying, I hope they sue the actress. No one, again, but this person is wrong. Her likeness was used for Neytiri's character. No, her likeness was used for Neytiri's concept art. Her likeness was used for Neytiri's concept art. Neytiri, in the final film, there's tons of hours of making of videos of Zoe Saldana wearing the fucking pinballs, baseballs on her fucking face, you know, the ping pong balls, and going, and then having it. We've all seen how the Avatar movies have been made. So, no. And I get she's an indigenous woman. So, of course. But, like, you can't just throw the term indigenous woman around and make him more guilty. Okay? No. No. There are facts at the end of the day. JD says, unless the early concept work is out there, we don't know what art was actually modeled. No, it is actually out there. We do have it. The concept art is totally out there. Let me open that back up again. The concept art is out there. Where is it? James Cameron. This is the concept art. Certainly looks like her. Like, look at the lips. So you can totally see the inspiration there. Her lips, like what she looks like, 100%. You know, she's in the concept art. Concept art. Like, you see, if you see someone walking down the street and then you draw them at home, and it's just a concept art. Like, you can't sue people for stuff like that. Just the bottom half of her face, he was inspired by her mouth and used it as concept art. Few $1,000. You want my honest opinion? That's $10,000 at most. 10 grand. 10 grand. What are you kidding me? Folks, are you fucking crazy? Are we losing our shit now? You know what I mean? Now he's rich, so because he's rich, I guess he'd give her 100 grand. But would you pay? How much would you pay? You're working on a project. How much would you pay for a model? Or would you get a picture off of Google and use that person as an inspiration? Most people would use AI now. He fucking sent her a signed picture of the sketch as like a thank you. People are using AI now. Are you crazy? 10K is more than enough. Yeah, her being 14 is kind of crazy. That's nasty. I watched that movie when she does not look 14 in that picture at all. Like, goddamn. Okay. We're done with that. I feel like talking. How long have we been streaming? 1 hour, 40 minutes. What else do we have to talk about? Sumsum says 50K at least. Well, as long... Look, she wants 1.5 mil. The sound is cutting out. Hello? Can you guys not hear me? Hello, hello? JD says he scanned her face to make art. He didn't really... Did they scan it officially? Didn't he just sketch it? But yeah, they'll settle. Drax says they'll settle for 150K. Sounds doable. Okay. Yeah, if I'm muted, just refresh. Okay. Let me just see what I want to talk about. APAC tracker. I don't want to talk about Lebanon right now. I don't have the time. Israel hit Beirut yesterday. Again. Quickly, Lebanon break. Because there's too much to cover. I feel like I'm not going to give it its due. Breaking: Israel has struck the Lebanese capital Beirut for the first time in weeks. It claims to have targeted a commander of Hezbollah's elite Radwan force, although this remains unverified at this stage. What we do know is that the strike took place in a busy residential area in Beirut's southern suburbs, and we are waiting for news on casualties. The strike comes after an Israeli drone was flying low over the city for most of the day, and with potential negotiations between the US and Iran on the horizon. When I was at the airport yesterday picking up the books for Jim, the drones sounded insanely low. Actually, let me try to share this video with you guys. Just listen to how low the drones were yesterday. It makes sense that they struck. And I asked the people at the airport, I'm like, is it normal for the drones to be this loud? They're like, no. They're like, it's extra loud today. I hope you can hear it. I filmed these 2 videos just literally for the drone sound. I just sent them to myself on WhatsApp. Listen in. Yellow, one sec. Trying to. Come on, WhatsApp. What you doing to me here? Okay. Can I watch these fucking things? WhatsApp's being kind of a bitch. 1 second. I'm trying to get that audio for you guys. Could you guys hear that? You guys kind of hear that buzzing in the back? Whoops, yoinks. So there you go. Yeah, very loud. So that was yesterday. So they're back to hitting Beirut. So what's happening in Lebanon.
Dahia was. Well, Israel has brought its war back to the level. Well, Israel has brought its war back to the Lebanese capital, Beirut, at around 8 p.m. on Wednesday evening. The residential building in the southern suburbs of Beirut, known as Dahia, was struck, we believe, with 3 missiles. Now, according to the Israeli media, those missiles were not fired from the air, but they were fired from a warship. And again, according to the Israeli press, a senior Hezbollah commander from its elite Radwan force, who's been named as Malik Balut, was the target of that attack. This remains unconfirmed at this stage. Now, the missiles hit in a very busy residential area. We believe it was a 6-story building that was targeted. So emergency services, well, they remain on the scene. They're working through the rubble to find any casualties. We don't have a figure so far, but we expect more information on that as time progresses. Now, again,
Billy,
according to the Israeli...
Billy is asking, I know this is America brain, but what would happen if someone just shot the drones out the air? We would get bombed. Essentially, we would get bombed. Israeli sources to I-24 News, the targeting was coordinated with the American administration. So Rania Khaled shares it and says, the American government appears to be directly participating in the Israeli war on Lebanon. That is obvious. We know that. Also, Israel to pour $730 million into propaganda arm amid reputational crisis. First reported by the Jerusalem Post, a total of $730 million has been allocated to the National Public Diplomacy Directorate, known by its Hebrew name Hasbara, which oversees Israeli propaganda. This figure marks a sharp increase from the $150 million set aside the previous year, which had already surged to roughly 20 times pre-2023. So Israel is about to pour almost $1 billion into fucking propaganda over the next year. $730 million. Expect to see a lot more pro-Israel content creators, vloggers, influencers, whatever the fuck it is. Ben Shapiro is going to get a bit of that money. He needs it. We know that. You know he desperately needs that money. Anyways. Blake Lively. Okay, so I thought we could read this, but this is... I have to pay to read this. This is the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni article from New York Magazine that I feel is very shocking and finally got them to settle. Very disturbing details. They want us to pay to read this. You motherfuckers, folks. So we can't read this. But let's see. So what happened? They've settled, apparently. I forgot all the... I know this guy's a fucking sleazebag. I know he's a piece of shit. And she seems kind of, like, annoying as well. So... 2 shitty people. Obviously, he's the shittier person. Like, to me, he's just a freak who's trying to, like, pretend to be a feminist or whatever. But, I mean, just a lot of the messages, she also seems, like, kind of power hungry and, like, kind of controlling and stuff. So, and I know he did the whole media campaign to make her look bad, but she also did that herself. Okay, the way she was promoting a movie about domestic violence, I'm sorry. It's like, bring your florals. Don't forget to wear your florals, girls, about a movie about women getting, like, no. And the email she sent about, like, her dragons. Let's see. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer, have they actually settled? Case brief.
Shall we talk about the case that will not end, that is over? I think we should. What does a settlement look like? Well, let's look at this statement and talk about what that means. And then, well, I don't think we're going to hear much else about this case.
I do agree with Irene. Thank God they settled. Never want to hear about them again, along with Ryan Reynolds. They're both... I'm sick of both of them, honestly. And this did no favors to either of their careers. They both come out of this looking completely horrible. I know that she was... Yankee says in that cover... what are you guys talking about? I know that they did the PR campaign against her, and he hired the same PR campaign that did the campaign against Amber Heard and all of that. I know. But, like, also... a lot of the stuff that they found about her and the stuff that she did do behind the scenes on the movie set and trying to, like, take the movie from him, they were a lot of power moves. Like, she was trying to become like just like Ryan Reynolds has his Deadpool franchise. She tried to get her own franchise, and she tried to fucking steal it from this guy who seems to be annoying and obnoxious and fucking creepy and weird and manipulative, horrible person. But if you expect me to be like poor Blake Lively, you ain't getting that here, folks.
Peace. The end product, the movie It Ends With Us, is a source of pride.
Raimi says this lady is friends with Ethan. I think every legal YouTuber is friends with Ethan Klein, because Ethan Klein is paying their bills with all the lawsuits he's doing. He's going to be friends with all of these fuckers.
All of us who worked to bring it to life, raising awareness and making a meaningful impact in the lives of domestic violence.
Yeah, so that is the statement they put out. They put out a joint statement. The end product, the movie It Ends With Us, is a source of pride to all of us who worked to bring it to life. Raising awareness and making a meaningful impact in the lives of domestic violence survivors and all survivors is a goal that we stand behind. We acknowledge the process, present the challenges, and recognize concerns raised by Miss Lively deserve to be heard. We remain firmly committed to workplaces free of improprieties and unproductive environments. It is our sincere hope that this brings closure and allows all involved to move forward constructively and in peace, including a respectful environment online. I think this whole lawsuit was such a waste of fucking time and did nothing but damage to Blake Lively. Even if it was a righteous lawsuit, like, just let it go. You guys made the fucking movie. It happened. I don't even remember what this was all about. I watched the HBO docuseries about this. It was so fucking stupid.
Survivors and all survivors is a goal that we stand behind. We acknowledge the process presented challenges and recognize concerns raised by Miss Lively deserved to be heard. We remain firmly committed to workplaces free of improprieties and unproductive environments. It is our sincere hope that this brings closure and allows all involved to move forward constructively and in peace, including a respectful environment online. I imagine that this last sentence, or the last part of this sentence, including a respective environment online, was a non-negotiable. I think that the blanket statement of workplaces free of improprieties and unproductive environments is about as close of an acknowledgement as you are going to get. That the thing that they all agreed to in the document they signed was this movie needs to move forward in a productive way. Fine. And I think the concerns raised by Miss Lively deserve to be heard was something hard fought by her lawyers and was something that her lawyers probably weren't going to wiggle about. Is there an apology from either side? No, there's not. Is there an acknowledgement that I think an acknowledgement that they signed the return.
Weeping Willow Tree says it wasn't stupid. She falsely accused him of sexual assault and ruined his life. Why would he not defend himself? But I can't remember this anymore, but I think you're also... There's a lot of propaganda, and there's a lot of, there was a whole PR campaign to make her seem like a crazy person. I can't remember what he originally did, though. I remember claims that, he walked into her dressing room while she was breastfeeding, but he would also show her, porn? Wouldn't he show her, videos of him and his wife being intimate or stuff like that, and she was like, please stop showing me stuff like that? And I'm sorry, if the director of a movie is showing you intimate scenes of him and his wife, that's kind of fucked. So, but she was also really annoying and tried to ruin his life and take over the film and oust him as the director, and she wanted to take over the film and she got power hungry. So they're both pieces of shit. That's what you need to understand in this case. He's a mega piece of shit. And he seems so fake. He seems like everything he says is so disingenuous. I hate the kind of person that guy is. You will never hear me say anything to defend Justin Baldoni. He seems like such a shitty, slimy motherfucker, but she also seems like a slimy and shitty motherfucker. You know? So I don't feel bad for any of them.
To work rider, and they're acknowledging that that was signed. Yes, because that was signed. And they also acknowledge that the process presented challenges, and we recognize that the concerns deserve to be heard. Everyone deserves their day in court. And yes, trial presents challenges to all sides. And everyone's going to debate over whose side presented more challenges. But at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to hear much more about this. Because the NDAs
Not to be fair, so apparently he was showing her a video of his wife giving birth. I'm going to be honest. A video of someone giving birth could be graphic, but like to me that is not sexual in any way. When you show someone a video of your wife giving birth, like sure you could be like, yo, way too much. Like I don't need to see that. Like that's too graphic or violent or bloody or gross or whatever it is. But to consider that as like harassment or sexual harassment, I don't think he did that. Like the guy seems insincere. He seems like a buffoon. He seems like a liar. He seems like he is genuinely co-opting the feminism movement to try to make himself look like such a great person. Like why the fuck is he speaking out on women's abuse and stuff? Like hundreds of questions about that and his whole persona and all of that. But like if he did just show her a video of his wife giving birth, a lot of people consider that like beautiful or pure or like just the circle of life. So I don't think that is sexual harassment or harassment, you know? So that is weird to me. If that's what I don't remember the case anymore. That's the thing, and I don't want to know.
Going to be well constructed.
With Hidden Iron, isn't Justin Baldoni a slimy motherfucker? They're both slimy motherfuckers. Without warning, so yeah, without warning is kind of gross.
Everyone
without warning is definitely gross. Like, hey, look at my wife giving birth. Like, oh, whoa, give me a heads up, buddy. Give me a heads up. But yeah, I don't think there's anything sexual about that anyway.
Is going to have to sign them though, because the biggest problem when this all got to, well, one of the biggest problems when this all got to summary judgment was that the contract was never signed. So if the NDAs have not been signed yet, and honestly, if I'm the Wayfarer lawyers, until those NDAs are signed, I'm not releasing shit. Oh, you want there to be a joint statement? Sign it. Sign the NDA. Sign the NDA, and then we'll release a joint statement. I'm not releasing anything until it's signed. Sign it. And we will know how much time they need to get things done when they file the notice that the case is settled. And then we will see a motion to dismiss with prejudice. And that's it. We're not going to hear from the parties. We're not going to know the terms of the settlement. I imagine that the terms of the settlement are not going to leak. There is going to be rampant speculation about whether Wayfarer paid Lively, whether Lively paid Wayfarer, whether any money exchanged hands. Just understand that for a settlement, there can be all kinds.
I think Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had to settle just for their reputations, because this wasn't doing them any favors. Even if they're right, ultimately, they were not winning the PR war. And ultimately, she's an actress. She's a public figure. She needs the people to like her. So they needed to stop the bleeding. So I think Justin Baldoni had more to lose financially, because he's definitely like broke compared to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. But also, didn't the judge just dismiss one of the courts, one of the lawsuits against him or something? I don't even know, guys. I don't care about the shit. But theoretically, he can't afford this lawsuit. He can't afford to lose because he's broke. And Blake Lively can afford the money. They have tons of money. They can pay the guy off or whatever, but they can't afford the reputational damage, because, like, who likes Blake Lively still? If Blake Lively announces a movie, everyone's going to be like, oh, isn't that piece of shit lady who tried to ruin this poor Justin Baldoni's life? Everyone's just talking shit about Blake Lively all the time online. It's like, it's worse than Amber Heard almost. It's almost as bad as Anne Hathaway. People seem to hate Anne Hathaway online as well. You know, or Rachel Zegler. Like, there is this hate campaign against Blake Lively online. So they need it to stop. And I think the longer this fucking lawsuit goes on, they're just getting hurt. She doesn't need the money from this fucking guy. Ryan Reynolds doesn't need the fucking money from this guy. You don't fucking need to sue him. It was stupid of them to sue him, honestly, if they started this lawsuit, and to put so much attention on themselves and on this thing, like, knowing that you guys are kind of, you know, assholes, and you guys tried to swing their weight around to get him ousted from the movie and to control the movie and to control the production. Why would you guys do that and put a fucking spotlight on what you did? So, smartest thing Blake Lively could have done was accept to settle or propose the settlement or whatever the fuck happened. But they were only benefiting his fucking career. Who the fuck knew who Justin Baldoni was before all of this? He was some fucking nobody like podcaster who made a movie. Now all of a sudden, the whole world knows Justin Baldoni. People seem to like him and people seem to hate her. It just has to stop, because now she can try to like at least rehabilitate her image. People are even starting to hate Ryan Reynolds because of this. Like, Baldoni has billionaire backing apparently. Ooh.
Of non-monetary things, including we will seal the rest of the case and take everything back offline. I mean, the shit's out of the horse on that one, but whatever. We will not work together in the future. We will not interfere with others' work in the future. Could be. We will not sue over anything that happened with this movie. Yes. Ownership of the sequel and affirming a walk away from the sequel could be a part of this. There are lots of things that can work into a settlement.
Can you imagine they make a sequel? I would only watch a sequel. If Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively come back. Honestly, that would be killer marketing. And now, after 5 years, reuniting after the epic lawsuit, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And it ends with us, part 2. Does one of them die at the end of the first movie or something? She rises from the dead only to find love with the most unexpected man, Justin Baldoni. I swear to God, $1 billion. $1 billion. It will make so much money. For the first time since the lawsuit. Everyone would go watch it. Them having to like make out or whatever, if it's like a romance thing, dude, make the sequel, bring them back as co-directors, co-directed by Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Also this summer, also starring Ryan Reynolds. Like, bring everyone back, dude. Bring Ryan Reynolds into the fold. Bring Taylor Swift. Wasn't Taylor Swift mentioned in one of the emails? Like, I have my dragons like Khaleesi. Bring Taylor Swift in it. Let's do it all.
Parties get to craft them. We saw a settlement ages ago of a anti-slap in a defamation where the party sued had won lawyers' fees. And instead of taking lawyers' fees, they took the other party's 1 million subscriber YouTube play button plaque. They can negotiate any of this. You can have mutual walkaways where everybody just says, we're not going to sue anymore over it. This is what we negotiate and we walk away. Money does not have to change hands for there to be a settlement. But ultimately,
so Hugh Jackman should also make an appearance, starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in a role of a lifetime.
It's Lively that's going to have to file the motion to dismiss her lawsuit. And that has not been done yet. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss updates.
Candace Owens seems to be very happy about this. Look at this.
This sort of evil is just not landing anymore. It's just, the world is awake to it. We're seeing how things operate. We're seeing how these people move like they're in a gang, like they are a part of some beehive getting ready to sting, looking for their next victim. On to some happier news, a win, why we stay focused on the Charlie Kirk story. We have to celebrate today, as promised, that major win for truth. Many people, like I said at the top, wrongly assumed that this was just some like Hollywood case regarding Blake Lively and Justice.
So we know where Candace stands. She is 100% firmly in the Justin Baldoni camp. Why am I not surprised?
Justin Baldoni, but it was not. Justice was served for Justin Baldoni. This was about power. This was quite literally about power, about people who are connected to A-listers and PR firms and have access to the government. Quite literally, she even brought in a PR crisis firm that had a former CIA agent, then like left the CIA and opened a PR crisis firm. I mean, she took this far. It was basically like, I'm big, you're small, we're best friends with Taylor Swift. We are at the level now. We are at that level where we can do whatever the hell we want. And at its core, I very much subscribe to what Courtney Love told me, that there is like a gang operating in Hollywood and they just take publishing rights. And so if you own music, they can problematize you, saying you have a drug addiction. They'll put you on a Psych 5150 hold. If you own the rights to movies, they can problematize you, maybe with a little Me Too effort. I mean, I covered the Harvey Weinstein case. You can go back and watch that. That I think could have had something to do with publishing rights for sure. He had to end up
1.25 speed, guys.
His entire company. We can create a scandal and you will give me what you own. Okay. And
it's 1.25.
This case looked like that from the very beginning. I read it. She comes out. She says she was sexually harassed. She files this paperwork, but it's actually not really a court case. I don't think she ever wanted to go that far. She didn't expect the public. Blake Lively did not expect the public to read the documents. And when I read the documents, I went, this sounds weird to me. This, like, I'm looking and creating a character profile of Justin Baldoni in my mind. And it is not matching what she is saying happened in this filing, this like civil rights employee type filing that she initially did in California. And I then decided I'm going, you've got Taylor Swift around you. I feel like I've heard rumors you're very bratty. And we started following the case, and Brian Friedman, the lawyer, did the greatest thing you could possibly do. When he filed his response, he created an entire website and allowed us to read it. And my jaw hit the floor. My jaw hit the floor at how unbelievably evil what they were doing to Justin Baldoni was. He acquired the rights to a movie illegally. Obviously, he cared very much about the book. He had wanted the movie to be perfect, this like feminist movie about domestic violence. And he cast her because she thought she would be perfect. And I bet he has one solitary regret. If he has one solitary regret in his life, it is casting Blake Lively in this movie, who I heard wasn't even good in this movie. And she just gave him hell and decided she wanted to try to get the rights and would have been successful were it not for us meddling kids. And we constantly covered it on this show.
Yeah, she did try to steal the movie from him. Like, is that a thing that like his PR firm tried to like spin, or she definitely tried to like rewrite the script and put pressure on him and use Ryan Reynolds as like, look, I'm married to Ryan Reynolds. We want to change the script here. We don't like what we did. We're going to change this. Now I want to be a producer. Now I want to be this. And like her role kept on growing and growing until she eventually wanted to fully take over the movie and like have control over like the editing. So as much as Justin Baldoni's like a creep and stuff, and I forget what he did. I guess was it just the comments and showing her the video of his wife giving birth? Like, it couldn't have just been that, right? Because if that is, then really fuck Blake Lively.
Shout out to Steph with the deets, all of the TikTokers, all of us that just stayed on top of it and realized we were watching evil. Her and Ryan Reynolds, her husband, had kind of climbed the ranks, and I graduated to a class of Taylor Swift is our best friend. We will do as we please. So it arrived as a moment where we kind of knew we were at the end on April 2nd. A judge dismissed 10 out of 13 of Blake Lively's allegations that she made against Justin. There was no way around it, in my view, even if they thought that they could get or use a corrupt judge. And I do believe that there are people that have this kind of power. They can manipulate judges. The public was paying too much attention. And
judge throws out Blake Lively's sexual harassment claim against Justin Baldoni. A judge dismissed 10 of Blake Lively's 13 claims against Justin Baldoni related to their time working together on It Ends With Us, including her sexual harassment allegation.
There were only 3 accusations that they were down to. And it was an accusation of a breach of contract, retaliation, and aiding and abetting retaliation. Listening to Blake Lively's statement following this, remarkable loss.
Apparently there was I remember they had like a kissing scene and he did some weird stuff. Irene says, I have to go. You all rock. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Irene. Always a pleasure having you here. I remember there was a kissing scene that happened that was weird, and he kept doing some weird stuff during that kissing scene, which made her uncomfortable, which again highlights the importance of having an intimacy coordinator on every set. I don't know if they had an intimacy coordinator on that set or not, but that's why you need intimacy coordinators. But I do remember something about a kissing scene, and he's the director of the film. Don't forget, so something definitely happened on there. You know what I mean?
10 of your allegations have fallen off. 10 of your claims have fallen off. You've got 3 left, and she,
or maybe not. Like, I don't know, but the kissing scene sounded. I remember there was something sketchy about that.
Then issues a bizarre statement. I'm grateful for the court's ruling, which allows the heart of my case to be presented to a jury next month, and for the ability to finally tell my story at the full trial for my own sake, but also for those who don't have the same opportunity to, many of whom I have known and loved deeply in my life.
AC says she chose not to have meetings with the coordinator. There was also a weird leaked convo they were having in a slow dance scene. They were flirty for a bit, and then he went too far, and then she tried to take over aspects of production. So he was flirting with her during the kissing scene?
Countless that I will never know. The last thing I wanted in my life was a lawsuit, but I brought this case because of the pervasive retaliation I faced and continue to for privately and professionally asking for a safe working environment for myself and others. I hope the court's decision shows others that as unfathomably painful as it is, you can speak up. Don't be distracted by the digital soap opera. The constant packaging of this lawsuit as a celebrity drama is not irresponsible. Not only irresponsible, but it is by design. Okay, I can't read the rest of it because it's so disgusting. If you were deep in the trenches of this case, you know how disgusting and how, it's wild. I love that it got community noted. I love that her statement got community noted, and they said, although Judge Lehman did not state Miss Lively.
Hidden Iron says, I think if you're gonna say Justin Baldoni did all this bad stuff, you should inform yourself first instead of speculate. Are you talking to me? Listen, Hidden Iron, I think there's enough information out there on the Justin Baldoni case. I'm just trying to cover this for some fun. It ain't fun no more. But I mean, my speculation now is irrelevant. The case has been settled. I can speculate whatever I want. Who cares? They've settled. They're done. They don't care about it anymore. So I don't think anyone really cares, you know? Anyways, this is not fun anymore. What did Justin Baldoni do to... What's your name again? Blake Lively. Let's see. She accused him of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment during the production of It Ends With Us, alleging he made uncomfortable comments, kissed her without consent, and created a coordinated retaliatory scheme to damage her reputation. The contentious legal battle was settled in May 2026. Key allegations and legal actions. Sexual harassment and hostile environment. According to legal filings made in late 2024 and early 2025, Lively alleged that Baldoni, who directed and co-starred in the film, made inappropriate comments about her body, discussed his sex life, and improvised a lingering kiss during a dance scene that went beyond the script. Retaliation claims Lively alleged that after she raised these concerns, Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, orchestrated a campaign to sabotage her and that she was subjected to an uncomfortable work environment. Counter lawsuit, Baldoni vehemently denied the allegations, filing a $400 million suit against Lively and her husband in January 2025. He accused them of defamation and attempting to seize control of the film's final edit. In April 2026, a federal judge dismissed most of Lively's claims, but allowed accusations regarding retaliation and breach of contract to move toward trial. Simultaneously, Baldoni's defamation lawsuit was dismissed. Settlement, the two parties announced a settlement of their legal dispute on May 4th. Oh, May the 4th! Look at that. May the 4th be with them. Yankees fan slams a $5 super chat and says, while they're both D-bags, Blake faked sexual harassment. Sexual abuse of any kind can ruin men's lives. If there is guilt, then fine. She's Fugazi. AF. Thank you for the generous dono. I don't know if I would say if she faked them. So look, if she's saying here, and I don't have the evidence, you know what I mean? But made inappropriate comments about the body, that is harassment of some kind. And I think you could, any man making comments about a woman's body are bad. I don't know the context. Was he making I remember watching the documentary. Like, did he mention it? Like, you'd look better in this dress because it fits the character better. I don't know what he said, but if it was fucked up comments about a woman's body, that is a form of harassment. Discussing his sex life openly, I don't know if that's sexual harassment, to be honest with you, but I know that it's just uncomfortable and creepy. Like, if I'm just sitting with someone, or like my boss, the director of my movie, the project director, if I'm working at some company or whatever, and he starts talking about his sex life, I don't want to hear it. Makes me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? An improvised lingering kiss during a dance scene that went beyond the script. It's kind of creepy. You know what I mean? Again, these things are planned ahead of time. There needs to be an intimacy coordinator. Now, if Blake did not want the intimacy coordinator there, and if they were both kind of improvising and like trying things or whatever, I don't know what it was like. I think ultimately these are two people that really dislike each other and hated each other. And there is truth, I'm sure, to both of what they're both saying. And in a court of law and in the court of public opinion, everything blew up and everything got worse, essentially. Drax says they both suck. Case closed. Yeah. Weeping Willow Tree says, no, this is all bad. He has a bad back and wanted to make sure he could lift her safely. Oh, so that's what it was about? Man, there is least evidence that he hired a slimy PR firm. There is, yeah, he did hire a slimy PR firm. But yeah, so okay, so if he was talking about, her weight for back strain, so that makes sense. That's fine. That's not sexual. That's not harassment. Okay. Inappropriate comments about her body. I get how it's awkward. Like, hey, if you're too heavy, maybe I can't lift you because it's gonna hurt my back. Definitely uncomfortable. Definitely like an awkward fucking moment. Definitely a what the fuck moment. Like, did he just fucking say that? Like, did this fucking weirdo just ask if I'm too heavy because he can't lift me because he has a bad back? Like, how heavy am I gonna be, bro? Like, those 10 extra pounds, like, that was a stupid question of him to ask. 100%. I would be weirded out if I heard that. But sexual harassment? No. I'm sorry, that's not sexual harassment. even discussing his sex life. Look, I don't know about the context of that, but showing video footage of his wife giving birth, gross, unnecessary, not sexual harassment in any way, shape, or form. Weeping Willow Trees saying he wanted to make sure she was safe as well. Okay, listen, Weeping Willow Trees, I appreciate all the comments and context. You seem to be a Justin Baldoni super fan in here. So he wanted to make sure she was also safe. No, he was making sure his back was fine. So I appreciate the context, but like, you seem like a mega Justin Baldoni fan. You know what I mean? I'll accept half of your claims, but the other half, I'm taking everything you say with a grain of salt. Weeping Willow Trees, and thank you for being in our live chat, by the way. Thank you for being a subscriber of the channel. But you do seem like you love Justin Baldoni. Let us know in the chat if you love Justin Baldoni. But yeah, the fact that they settled means no one believes that strongly in their case, or both be like, we don't want to deal with this anymore. This is harming us in either financially, reputationally. All I know is, again, Justin Baldoni was a nobody before all this happened, so if anything, this has just raised his profile, and he's now way more famous than ever, etc. Just like Willow Weeping Trees fucking loves him, you know? But this has done immeasurable damage to Blake Lively's reputation, and even Ryan Reynolds' reputation. So she, I think, needed this to stop more than anyone. This has really harmed her reputation. People hate her now. I don't know what she can do to get back in the public's good graces. Even if you do think that it was mainly a PR firm attacking her and, like, you know, slandering her and stuff, the damage is done. People hate her. They need to find a way to undo that damage, you know? And winning the lawsuit would have gone a long way. Winning the lawsuit against Justin Baldoni could have gone a long way to, like, exonerate her and make people like her again. That didn't happen. They're settling, so a lot of people are going to see that as a victory for Justin Baldoni. Settling out of court is a victory for Justin Baldoni because he didn't have to pay up whatever they wanted him to. You know what I mean? So. Bam. Okay. We are going to move on to the final segment of this here live stream. We're done with Blake Lively. We're done with the lawyer talking. Oh, then they shared here we go. They shared this selfie. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively look adorable in a new selfie. This is what's called damage control. They're trying to look cute and normal. Oh, look at us. Please forget all this crazy shit you read about us in those lawsuits. I'm a lovable person. Like, this is the most rehearsed. It looks organic. It looks, oh, it's a natural. We're messy. We have our messy morning hair. It's like, these people are fucking demons, dude. You know what I'm saying? Rich millionaires trying to ruin some guy's life. He was also, Justin Baldoni could also be a piece of shit for various reasons, and he also tried to ruin her life, etc. Okay, but it seems like she tried to ruin his life a little bit more first. So now they're like, oh, look, we're so happy. We're so happy. This is all behind us. We can go back to being our normal selves. No one cares. No one likes you. No one likes you people anymore, okay? It's over. You fucked. Oh, we're so normal. We're so casual. We're so goofy. Oh, I'm so quirky. Look at how I'm holding his hair. Oh, my hair's so messy. So morning hair. It's like, shut up. We're not going to forget everything you said. If the guy asked you, how heavy are you? Because I don't want to hurt my back. And you're like, he's asking me about, he's making comments about my body. Like, shut up, bro. It's honestly shit like this that hurts sexual assault allegations. You know, people like, he harassed me and asked me, he's asking if he can carry you without hurting his back. Is it a rude question? Yes. Is it fucked? Yes. Is he a dumbass for fucking asking it? Yes. Don't be such a fucking pussy, bro. Just lift her. Lift her. You agreed to fucking direct this movie about a guy, and you want to star in it, and you want to carry the actress. What are you suggesting? That she's fat? What are you saying? You should have cast someone. Why are you asking that fucking question? Fuck him for asking the question. Seriously. But also, fuck her for being like, he sexually harassed me by asking that question. No. Fuck you for that. The world needs to go back to some kind of fucking reality here. What is this bullshit? Okay, we're going to move on, folks. For the final activity of today, we're going to play the Mogging Game. Okay, you guys ready? You guys ready? We are about to play the Mogging Game called Oh Moggle. I didn't make an account for this, so should I have made an account? We were playing as a guest. Click here to claim your rank with Google. I guess I have to claim my rank with Google. Let's do it as the Do Not Worry pod, I guess. We're verifying. Okay. Folks, we're going to Mog. Are you ready? I think I need to fix the camera. I don't even know how to Mog. Like, do I just... let me get rid of the chat box real quick. Like, do I look to the side or do I just... How do we Mog? Let's go. Enter the arena. 1v run. You guys ready? It's just gonna be... I'm gonna randomly be matched with people. Most likely children aged 10 to 13. And we're going to stare at each other for a few seconds. And let's see who out-Mogs the other. Let me take my glasses off. Oh, fuck. I gotta turn on my camera. My virtual camera. We won! Okay. Shit. What happened? Couldn't handle me? What's happening? Are we disconnecting? What's happening with these matches? Noxolato sends a $2 super chat, said it ends with settlement. They both suck equally. Where are you mocking me from, boy? Come on. There you go. There you go. That's the Moggin. That's the Moggin. 2 straight. Oh, you guys can't see the game. There you go, guys. Sorry, fuck. You guys missed my 2 victories. Okay, I'm fighting Emiru now. That was so embarrassing. Sorry, guys. Okay, they're matching me with someone else. I won. I mogged 2 people. You guys missed them. Crazy looking 12-year-olds. I fixed it. I fixed it. Come on. It's connecting. New match. Folks, I won. You missed the mogging, but I won. I'm not... Ooh, oh. Come on. Where's my challenger? Oh, come on. Again. Come on. This is not really Ludwig. All right. Another 12-year-old, folks. Again? What are they too scared? I guess they see me. They're like, we can't beat this guy. We can't out-Mog him. Come on. Come on. Guys, you missed it. I literally mogged 2 people. I mogged 2 people. Yeah, why is it not connecting? The 6-7 game was much better than this. Come on, get me some 12-year-olds to Mog. Quick. Quick. Okay, this fucking game, bro. What? Come on. I was out mogging this person. Dude, I was so gonna win. Why'd she quit? Why would she quit? I was winning. All right, come on. Come on, get Pokimane off of here. Pokimane, I'm not mogging you right now. They're using those streamer clips as like an in-between while you're waiting to be matched with someone else, I guess. Come on, guys, come on. Get rid of Emiru from here, man. Demo not. I know this is a demo. Is no one? Am I the only one playing this mogging game right now? What the fuck is this, guys? It's a family-friendly show. Okay. Ooh, what is this idiot? What is happening? Guys, this mogging game, there's not enough people playing, I think. What is going on? Okay, we got a kid. He mogged me? What the fuck? How the fuck did that kid mog me? That makes no fucking sense. I got mogged again? So you guys only saw me lose, you fuckers. You guys only see me lose and you don't see me win. I mocked 2 fuckers before. I don't know. Am I moving too much? What are the rules? I'm just not going to move this time. Again? I'm getting mocked by these fucking children. Am I moving or not? What's happening here? Oh, look, another famous streamer, Maya. Come on, this guy. There we go. We got one. We got one. I'm the mogger now. I mogged. I won. You guys saw that. You guys saw the same thing we just saw, okay? I mogged. I won. I won. Yalla, quicker. So I guess can someone look up if I'm supposed to move to win? Oh, come on, scared me. Ah, what the fuck? God damn, this little kid mogged me. This little child mogged me. Chris sends a $2 super chat and says, "What's this game worth ruining your dignity?" I'm okay, let's get this fucking kid. Come on, man. What the fuck? Oh, these fucking kids. This game is racist. They see a beard and I lose. What do you mean brow furrow? Too much brow. My mogging too hard? Oh, I got this guy. I got this guy. What? I'm losing everything. Got Justin Bieber over here? What the fuck was that? Oh, come on. What? What's up? What's up? Piece of shit. Little fucker. Who we got now? I'll mog all you motherfuckers, bro. I will mog all. Okay. We got one, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got these 12-year-olds. These 12-year-olds can't mog me. What's happening now? This guy's like 11. This guy's like 8 years old, bro. What? I lost the 5-year-old? This is like a 5-year-old. How am I losing to these kids? What the fuck is this guy? What? Disconnected? He just took a quick glimpse of my face. He was like, nah, okay. She unmatched. Look, you saw her push the button. She was like, what the fuck is that guy? This guy's like 6 years old at most. Oh my, I got mogged by this child, bro. I'm getting mogged by babies. Literal babies. Children. Okay, so I'm facing down? This guy has a good jawline, they said, huh? Why are they all laughing after they win? I won 2. I won 2 first. I won 4. I've won 4 total, folks. I've won 4 total. If you guys like this content, consider becoming a member. Isn't that great? Embarrassing. Oh, fuck. I can't. My jawline is being hidden by my beard. My beard is blending in with my jawline, folks. I gotta find a way to make that jawline stand out. Oh, this guy's gonna fucking beat my ass. Oh, we got him with my little nose tap. I got him with my little nose tap. I had to scare this one. This guy looked scary, man. This guy had a jaw. This guy had a jaw. Okay, don't ask me why I make it. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, 7-year-old on the way. Not even looking at me. Not even looking at me. Should be an easy victory. What do you mean calculating results? He wasn't even looking at the camera. That was a confirmed victory. Everyone's disconnecting. Another child. God damn it, got mocked by this boy. Getting mocked by these children. Suck cheeks in. But I have a beard again, you can't tell. Oh, fuck. Damn, that guy quit. I scared this one. I scared that one off. That guy looked like one of those Australian androgynous, what's his name? Androgenic? It's not how we do it, huh? Okay, let's do a couple more rounds. Take this lady off of here. Why are they all like crazy Republican? I mean, Pokemon's cool, but Emeru and that other one. Just the softcore are like, those are just like in transitions. Those are like demos. They're not the real people that I'm doing for. They're all kids. The only people who use these websites are children. One more and we're done, folks. God, stop it with this. Oh. One sec. I'm in the middle of a mogging game, babe. I won. I won the mogging. You can come in. Victory. Hello, hello. 1 second, folks. Mm-hmm. Oh, he won. I came in late, folks, for this one. No, it's okay. They match with random people and you mog each other via the camera. No, this is a demo. This is as you wait to be matched with someone, they put softcore porn on it, apparently. Okay, look at this. This guy beat me already. It's like a child. Am I mogging well? But we're mogging. He won. Fuck. He beat me at mogging. How do I mog? What do I do? But that's what mogging. Stop showing me this lady. That's what mogging for men is, apparently. Okay, this guy. Look at this guy. Got a good jawline. I lost again, babe. I'm losing. You want to try? You want to mog instead of me? You want to do one round of mogging? Oh, dog. Oh, then let's beat the dog. I'm not gonna lose to. Oh, they canceled. I'm not gonna lose to a dog. Oh, this guy's shirtless. There's more chat. Focus more. Lost again.
Hey, look at this. You have to like and like let go of your jaw and don't keep shifting your eyes left to right.
Oh, this is okay. The kid was doing that. The 12-year-old I was fighting. They're all children. Why did the dog cancel on me? That's fucked.
I think the phone fell.
Mog dog. I think I was better at the 6-7 game, and I was pretty bad at that. I think I'm just too old for all of these things, guys. Well, definitely by the people that I'm competing with, I'm too old. Listen, no. Not really. I ate before, but you didn't get any food on the way? But this guy beat me earlier, I think. Got bad skin, I should win. Fucking canceled. He's mogging. Trying to suck myself up again. It got canceled. But that's mogging, babe. Look what they're doing. Oh, he's smiling.
Looking at you.
He's moving his head. You're putting, babe. You gotta help me. Either help me or don't distract me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. He did everything I did and he won. See, guys, no support. Look at this guy. What the fuck? All right, guys, that's enough of this mogging game. I'm going to report this opponent. Return to menu. This is horrendous. Enough of this game. Okay, we had our fun. Definitely racist game. Definitely racist game. Racist game. I was going to say Islamophobic. I'm not even Muslim, but this game has a thing out for Arabs, okay? This game is against Arabs. Beards are not encouraged in this game. You have to have a clean shaven face of a 12-year-old boy for this thing to register your... Everybody knows I have the jawline of a king. Everybody knows I have a master's jawline, but no. Because of the beard and the shitty cameras, it doesn't register. It doesn't register. Just like my arms are too long for the 6-7 game. Don't worry, I'm never going to shave my beard for this, guys. Never. But I lost to everybody. Kids with acne that are just, their acne is just starting, you know, like puberty's hitting. This did a number to my self-confidence. That's all I'm going to say. A number. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today to this fun, very random live stream where we had a very good time. Tune in later this week when I will react to the Cavernacles video about Ethan Klein hating Israel. It's just a matter of finding the day to cover that video. Sarah, the thumbnail was about what you just saw right now. It was about this, the mogging. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Make sure to subscribe to Tino's Playroom. The link is pinned at the bottom of the live chat. Make sure to give that channel a sub. go back and watch the live stream that we did there today, reacting to the world's most nauseating Lego collection and the world's most psychotic Lego collector. It's a very fun stream. It's on Tino's Playroom. There's a lot of content, folks. I'm doing live. If you don't see me live on this channel, chances are I might be doing a live stream on my second channel. So there's always content here. We've been slamming live streams all week. I've already done 4 live streams on the second channel in like 8 days. We're 4 live streams deep into that channel. So expect a lot of stuff. Another live stream is coming for you guys this week. Either, I just need to see the day, but we're going to react to that Cavernacle video. And then Sunday, Better Left Unsaid with James and Comrade Casey. Someone was telling me that No Comment Chick was interested in calling into the show to talk about the case. I reached out to her on Twitter with a DM, checking if she would be interested to come on as a guest. She has not seen my DM yet, so if anyone is in her community or in her Discord or something and would like to give her a heads up that, yo, I did reach out to No Comment Chick, asking her to come on to the show. If we can get her as a guest on Better Left Unsaid, I think that would be great, because I'm sure James and Comrade Casey would have some great questions to ask her. So definitely come. Chris sends a $2 super chat and says, your jawline couldn't even beat toddlers. I know, embarrassing. Very humbling. A very humbling experience. Ravi says she's trying to reach back out. Oh, really? Well, tell her that, to ask her to reach back out on Twitter. I said, tell her I reached out on Twitter. Will be the easiest way, I guess, for her to connect. So, if you could ask her to do that, that would be great. Chris, thank you so much for the donor. Everybody who gifted memberships today, who sent in a super chat, thank you so very much. We very much appreciate your support and your patronage to the channel. Our members, our patrons, we appreciate you. Ooh, Haley sends another $2 super chat and says, comment where you'd like to see Ant stream in the US. That is true, folks. I'm going to be traveling to the US most likely in July, and I'm going to be needing some ideas for some IRL streams while I'm there, while I'm in the US. So I'm going to be in the Northern Virginia / Washington, D.C. area. So look up Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia and come up with some good ideas for your boy, okay? Yes, Jess, girls can mog too. Everyone can mog. I wanted to get Demi to do it. She would have taught us all a lesson. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the generous support. Love you all so very much. I will see you all in the next couple of days on the channel, both channels. Take good care, and as always, let's use this other outro. Boom, this was thank you to Miles Murphy Cork for this beautiful music, and thank you to Nour for the lovely little intro and outro animation. Let's do the real outro. Bye bye now.
Do not worry.